might turn out just all right. I know I'm lying to myself, hard hours for thinking. Still flopping half the turkey. Afraid of blinking, can't even miss a second of the lessons I'm living. That's like every minute is a gift, it's a pleasure. Let's get together, let's spin us a smooth forever. Wait, pick up your mood. I know I lack the direction. Skip on class and a lecture. Busy trying to get it together. Something clever, I know to tether to the reckless behaviors with good intentions. Some over instance, riddance to negative energy. Let peace, love, and serenity spill from me. None of endlessly, truly talk fearlessly. How about let feelings move so loosely? Murder the juice beat, shout the mills on cool keys, blue cheese for like a cool breeze. To the ocean side, from the cold to the globe wide with an open eye. I swear I feel like everything might turn out to be fun. Something special for me. Don't believe me. I need your vibration. Let's get it.
Here we go, got this miserable song on repeat. Cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. Was there to repair if you don't want to talk to me? You should know it's time is up, I'm out of mind. So I put you.
This is a test donation for Donna.
And you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay.
Thought you knew me so much better.
We're on a lifetime sentence.
And now you never feel my presence.
So we thought I would let this stay.
Thought you knew me so much better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Get this light straightened out. That light is too dark. So that's right. So I put you on a lifetime sentence. Poor lighting is a horrible thing. Thought you knew me so much better. Shout out to the CIA. We're getting ready to get started. Everybody pile in. Get your seat. You know what, let me clean this lens. I think something's wrong with this lens. Got a little dirt on it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll do her. Thought you knew me so much better. All right, last night's show was incredible. Last night's show was incredible. I love these glasses. But we're gonna get to work. Last night's show actually
sparked a very needed conversation and discussion. Last night's show sparked a very needed conversation and discussion, and something that's been kind of an open secret for a long time. An open secret for a long time. And I've had people ask me about talking about this subject before from just my personal opinion, but in the business I work in image, I'm around powerful men, powerful, connected guys. And understand something, that there's a lot of stuff that goes on right in plain sight that the average guy can't really comprehend. First off, let's do some housekeeping. Before we get started, I need everybody to hit that like button. That lets people know, the more likes, the more YouTube recommends the show. The more likes, the more YouTube recommends the show, and the better things are. And if you like this kind of content, man, because you guys said you have liked the streams here so far. Hold on. I'm getting my focus on my thing right. Many of you guys have said, ooh, we've been doing some good topics, but understand something. To talk about these topics requires support. So this is how I want you to support the show. You pay your admission by simply liking the show. If you can be so inclined to go ahead and share it out to somebody on another platform, that would be great. And let's see. Like the show, share it. And if you want to donate, here is the link you use. While I appreciate everybody donating via Super Chat, YouTube takes 50% of that. 50% is going away, guys.
What up, Keys?
What up, man? We're going to get into this today and understand something. This is coming from a non-judgmental point of view. I am not going to be sitting here preaching like a Baptist preacher about the rights and wrongs of this or that. What you should and should not be doing personally. And everybody has their own personal choices to make, okay? What we're going to talk about, though, is some hardcore realities about some things that are going on. I think a lot of people just don't understand. What's going on out here in the real world. A lot of folks just don't get it. So, you know, this last week, a lot of light was shown on guys who are incels or virgins out here living in plain sight amongst everybody. Whoa. A lot of light was shown on that subject. Okay. A lot of folks are like, man, I didn't know that many guys were out there who were incels or virgins or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't know like I know now. It's number one. Number two, a lot of folks didn't understand where a lot of these guys were coming from and how it could get to be that way. So we need to have the conversation. We need to talk about it. But then yesterday, I had a young lady come on, and I'm glad she came on. She told the truth. Young woman in college, going to get her degree, wants a professional guy, all this stuff, but she's actively dating a guy in school right now who's in college and a drug dealer, which made me really want to talk about this subject because this is something that I've known for a long time. There's something that I've known for a long time, that college educated women love white collar dealers. Now, I had a whole lot of stuff written up before, but I had to cut it. It says in the professional world, just in the professional world, just like politics, sports, entertainment, those with special access are always extremely popular. Women love guys with status. Special status of the local Candyman in these worlds have long been understood. But here's the thing, with this whole emergence of this acceptance culture, fat acceptance, you know, all the different movements, basically no one's judging anybody anymore. So now the acceptance culture, things that have been used to be hidden are becoming mainstream. Understand something. Breaking Bad, Power. These shows are where you actually have drug dealers as heroes. And they're not living in the projects, they're on the corner. They're in middle, they're either in the suburbs or in high or in upper echelons of American society. You bookend that with a show like Boardwalk Empire, where the guy was the county treasurer and he ran Atlantic City. And what you'll start to realize is this isn't just entertainment, whether it's the local college student who's selling weed, whether it's the tech guy, the local IT guy, the local guy that's working at Google or Microsoft or somewhere in Silicon Valley who's selling speed, whether it's the local attorney who's selling blow on the side, whether it's the local internist or doctor selling all kinds of pills, whether it's the dentist, the local dentist selling nitrous oxide. This has always gone on, but now it's become more accepted. Right there in your neighborhood, right there in your plush, lovely, gated community, I can tell you right now, there's somebody selling drugs. How do I know this? Well, I will tell you this. My best friend, a close friend. I'm just going to say a close friend. I'm not going. Don't want to give any details, but look, man, his girlfriend had a degree in microbiology. Oh, I also missed somebody, the local barber, who's also selling stuff, selling weed. You go to New York, you live in a doorman building, your doorman can get you anything. Look, guys, the question is, do women, college educated women, white collar women, love, that was this whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing, but there's a whole nother category. There's the white collar dealer. And if that's the case, if these are supposedly good women, are there enough good women left for men today? That's what guys are saying. If this is what I'm working for, this is what I got. If I got to pick over, if I got to get the leftovers of the local D-boy or the white collar D-boy after he's ran through her, gave her a baby or whatever, is this what we got to pick from? And see, I want you guys to understand something. This ain't a black thing. So, and this ain't a white thing. So get out of here talking about that's them white boys. Wrong. That's wrong. And like I said, I want to make sure we understand something. There's no heat, no judgment. I want to hear from the ladies. I really want to hear from the ladies on this one, because I'm gonna put it back in the comment section, because I knew this was going to be a loaded topic. Do educated women love white collar dealers? I'm gonna put it back in the title, because that's crazy. That's crazy. Are there enough good women left for men? Are there enough good? So understand something, Jasmine. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to play semantics and saying good is subjective. Understand something. No guy wants to go get a skilled trade, work his butt off, go to college, work his butt off, have to go compete in corporate America, work his butt off, climb, get promoted, do all this other kind of stuff, to have to pick from women who have an affinity for fast money and the dangerous life, fast money, and the bad boy lifestyle. See, that's why I used it. How many people watch the show Breaking Bad? I mean, not Breaking Bad, Boardwalk Empire. If you watch Boardwalk Empire, raise your hand. If you watch Boardwalk Empire, raise your hand. Boardwalk Empire was a great show in the fact that the lead character, Nucky Thompson, was a bootlegger, murderer. He's a gangster. But his wife, his girlfriend, his love interest was this feminist, highly religious, wholesome, supposed woman who, as soon she got introduced to Nucky because her husband was beating on her. So we took pity on her. Then Nucky basically said, that's some jacked up stuff, gave her some money. Did she go away? No, she kept coming around. And what happens? You got these women who are good going to guys that they know are bad because they'll do bad things. They end up getting her husband killed. And next thing you know, she's in bed with Nucky. This is the mother of 2 or 3 kids. She in bed with Nucky, but she's always judging him. She knows he's a bootlegger and all this other stuff, but yet there she is. See, and that's the crazy thing. Women in this position want guys who have this access to fast money and this kind of stuff. But like I asked the question to a young girl the other day, don't you think this has an effect on your mindset? You're used to fast money and danger and this and that. How can you go deal with a dude that's just working 60 hours a week, doing it the right way? Let's talk about it. Do college educate? I want from a show of hands from the guys, do you think that college educated women, white collar women, like prefer, white collar dealers? And understand something. Not only did I know a friend of mine who lived in the neighborhood where his girlfriend, who was gorgeous, she was gorgeous. We're talking about a strong 9. This woman could dated NBA players. She was wanted by Idris Elba. Anyway, this woman was wanted. Her ex-husband was a barber who started selling weed and moving major weight. And with her biochemistry degree, became the wife of a barber who was making close to $1 million a year, stacks of cash. And this went on for years. But you look at her and you'd assume one thing, but behind the scenes, she's met. And the thing is, she openly admitted, when her husband wanted to stop, she didn't want him to because she got fixated on the money. This happens. Well, I know, give you another woman. When I lived in Texas, I knew a woman who was a very attractive real estate agent. Dated a guy from Detroit who worked for Dow. He was an engineer who started selling H on the side, quit Dow and became a full-time H dealer. This is not uncommon. And you got to ask yourself, why are guys doing this? Why is this going on? And if you as a man are looking to work with resources, you got getting your resources up, you're building this, you're building that, how are you going to compete with a guy who's out making money in stacks illegally? So as we get into it, we got to ask the question, not of men. See, men, we understand we have to compete. We got to ask the question of the ladies. Thou was not a cover. No, it wasn't. See, this is what you're not going to do. A lot of these guys never did this stuff before. When I was in college, the movie New Jack City came out. And on campus, there was an underground project. Remember how we used to have the ice bucket challenge, this challenge, that challenge? On campus, there was a challenge to see how you could sell and not get in trouble. People were working around campus in little groups trying to figure out how to do it legally or how to not get caught. Yes. I mean, for some people, it started out as a logic puzzle. As some people, it started out as a test of their business skills. And it was started by a tenured professor in the business school. He said, okay, how could you do this and make it legitimate? And you know what? There were some incredible business plans and models out, but it all kind of mirrored what's going on today. Duality. Go work here. Somebody gets introduced to somebody who's a candy man or somebody else. They realize that there's this whole market out there. They start selling a little bit. They start buying stuff for them personal uses. I mean, you've seen the movies. How most of these guys don't come from the street. That's another thing. Let's get past this whole thing. Well, they did it in the street when they were younger. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about guys who were straight-laced, never got into any trouble, weren't doing any of this stuff, and started doing it after their career was started. Somebody say Donovan was in here? Donovan. Nino, what's going on, D? So understand something. I know a lot of guys are blind to this world because, first off, if you haven't spent any time around escorts, strippers, if you haven't spent your time around high energy nightclubs, if you haven't been a part of the it scene, you're probably as green as all get out. You don't even know. I mean, if you're the guy who you go stand in line at the club with the rest of the dudes, you don't know what I'm talking about. But remember, I used to be a bouncer. Remember, I have had access. I could get in VIP, back way. You guys went to the front party. I went to the back party. Let's talk about it. Ladies, why do you college educated ladies want to deal? What's the end game in dealing with a white collar dealer? Have you done it? Why do you do it? Do you have girlfriends or friends that do it? And the final question is, since this goes on, are there any good women left for men, for good guys? Because I consider, this is where I will make a judgment. I don't consider you a good woman if you openly know you're dating a dude that's doing this. You're engaged in criminal activity. I don't think you're good. Just because he doesn't do it when you're around, or because you can stick your head in the sand like an ostrich and say, well, I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind. You can do the three monkeys, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Just because you can do that, you know this stacks of money, these Louis Vuitton bags, these Hermes bags, you know all this stuff ain't being done on a high school football coach's salary. You know it ain't being done on a barber's salary. He makes $15 to $25 a haircut. You know it's not being done. You know the money's coming. Somebody said Steve Harvey's wife. Let's talk about it. Steve Harvey's wife dated dudes that ran the streets. But Steve Harvey was already a multimillionaire and had himself insulated and protected. What do you think? You think the average guy out here who's just an accountant? Let's talk about it. First off, there are 400 people watching. We only got 175 likes. I'm not going to open it up. I'm not going to open it up for any further discussion until we get these likes over 250. D Wiz says 9 to 5 cats are squares to these dudes. Exactly. But see, we got to talk about it like last night when the young lady came on and she didn't even think about it. It was like, well, his profession, you know what, let's talk, let's show some of the show from last night. While we're getting the likes up, let's show some of the show from last night. And again, I want to hear from you ladies. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Guys, I don't, guys, you're welcome to call in too, but a lot of guys have opinions. But unless you've experienced it, I don't want to, because unless you've actually lived it.
Okay.
That's why it's not good. It's not a moral thing. I don't care about selling weed. I don't have a problem with people selling weed. I just care that you know it's wrong. It's illegal at this point. And you're supposed to be in college and learning something. You're talking about you want to open a school? Well, who wants to put their kid in a school with a former drug kingpin's girlfriend? What the fuck?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a kingpin. I feel like that's a big.
I'm being facetious.
Right.
But you openly advertise. Yes, here's Miss Shakira's school for wayward kids. Now I used to be the girlfriend of Nino Brown over here, but hey, let me help teach your kids what. You may have some weight and goddamn similar as far as we know, man. You'll do whatever for money is what it is, man. Your morals are. This is what I mean. Your morals. Your moral compass is not there.
Salute, brethren. Thanks for the wisdom.
That's what I mean. A solid man does not need a wishy-washy woman with a questionable moral compass at his side.
Okay, so wait. So I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. I definitely see the error of my ways, and I understand that what I'm doing is kind of.
You don't have to do. You don't need to play the platitudes. Just get to it, man. I don't know you.
Okay, so I disagree with you. I don't think that has to speak for my moral compass, because even when everyone has a decision to make, and you said it yourself that the world does not always understand you. So to me, and I think maybe I have a different understanding of different interpretation of the law. Just because something is illegal doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. I feel like, especially in America, we have a lot of laws that aren't right. So I feel like just to judge somebody and call them a criminal or this and that, just because somebody was out there getting some money, that to me, that doesn't necessarily bother me, because even if you were in corporate America, or even just how you say affluent, there are hard decisions that are made every day that I wouldn't make, that I feel like have a more negative impact than someone selling, the next person some weed. You see what I'm saying? It's not like he's out here. He's not.
It's a lesser evil argument. It's a comparative things like, well, there are guys who do this, so it's not as bad as them. But here's the problem: he's not selling. All right, so that was an excerpt from yesterday, and we'll get back to it. And shout out to the young lady yesterday. And I saw somebody in the chat room saying, well, that woman does not represent the majority of us out here. No one ever said she represented the majority. That's a deflection. There's no way this woman represents the majority of us out here. So let's be clear. I'm talking about the beautiful women. We're going to have to get to it. We're talking about the women who are fine enough to pull it off. We're talking about the strong 8.5s, 9s, and 10s. I'm not talking about 7s and below. If you're 4, 5, 6, you can't date men at this level. They're going to date beautiful women. They're going to date women who are in shape, hot, smoking. They're not going to date loudmouth, bad acting. They're going to date a woman who's not going to draw a lot of attention. So let's get real. We're talking about select females, beautiful women. So we don't even need to go down the pathway. It doesn't represent all of us. No, but I'm going to tell you something. Beautiful women like men with money. Beautiful women like powerful men. This is power. Why would you go? And let's be real. Why would a guy go to the trouble of possibly going to jail for an average girl? We're not talking about average. We're talking about beauty. Let's get into it, because apparently, this is a blind spot for some folks. But what percentage of, how many, do you think this is a widespread thing? Do you think it, I really want to get people's opinion. Do you think it's a widespread thing? Do you think it's kind of a one-off? What do you know? Because I'm gonna tell you, I didn't grow up with access to, I'll lie. In my household, there was no drinking and drugging. But my cousins, my uncle always had some weed. He had, you know, he had that long, if you ever had that uncle with that long fingernail, you know what that's for. And the funny thing is, the dudes that always were around that kind of stuff always had beautiful women, even the ones that were married. We got to get real. Thank you, E. Dunlap. It's very widespread. And we got to talk about it, because if you're a woman, a beautiful woman, and you're out here liking dudes in this area, you're not a good woman for these guys. Or do you think you are a good woman for these guys? Let's talk about it. Because, and if Shy, you want to call in to start us off, again, no heat, no judgment. I'm not judging your lifestyle. I prefer you not to get your face on camera, but I do want the truth, because what we got to do is figure out what we're doing here. Is it better to do you think you can do this and not pay a cost later on in life? Because see, I see far too many women who are sevens. I mean, far too many cute and above average women who are just kind of floating in this world. Here's the thing. Let's get into it. I want, first off, I think it's crazy that we have an acceptance culture right now that allows so many people to really just say, I believe that that it's not that big a deal. The laws are there. I mean, you heard her. You heard exact, and she was truthful. She said, look, just because the law says it's wrong, I mean, it's no big deal. It's just this. It's no big deal. It's just that. And you know what? I can't say, honestly, my opinion is this. I wish they legalize it all. As a bartender, I never saw anybody come in there smoked out wanting to fight or start trouble. That happens with liquor. I would say legalize it all. Do like what is it over in the Netherlands? They legalized H. The kick rates, the relapse rates have been cut by 90%. The kick rate, you gotta, when it's treated as a public health thing where they can get their stuff from the state, go look at what the Netherlands did when they switched from treating it like crime, because the war on it obviously ain't working. You take out the profit motive, then you will stop having so many of these guys out here who want to do it. I mean, why would you do it if you're a coder or if you're an IT guy? Why would you sell that if somebody could just go to the local Walgreens to get what they wanted? There's no profit in it. Let's get it up. Let's talk about it. Let's get it up. Let's talk about it. We're going to take a quick musical break, and I will be right back. Are there enough good women left for the good men? Yes, it's the title, but are there? Are there enough good women?
Reality dictates you are who mate. You live and vicariously through the people because you're intoxicated by the danger. But everyone has a price to pay in the end.
Thank you, Charles. Are there enough good women? All right, for the person that's in the waiting room, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room. I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room, and I need you to change your name. Your phone number is showing. I need you to change your name. Your phone number is showing. I need to understand something. So there are two parts to this. Do beautiful college educated women love white collar dealers? Is that who they would really pick? Why are they choosing these guys? What goes on when you pick this guy? That's number one. Number two, whether it's the first set or the last, are there really enough good women left for the kind of men? Because you hear, are there good women left, or have you been through too much? Let's talk about it. Showstopper. All right, 832. Whoever's coming from 832, please change your number on the waiting room because I'll put you in, but your phone number's there. Showstopper. Let's go.
Yes.
If you say there definitely is, let's get in here and let's talk about it. Where are you? Yeah, I'm here.
It's LG from last night.
Hey, LG.
I'm gonna say that's true because I went to college twice, and when I just graduated from going to school again, and I did it twice, and we do it because
Whoa. You did what twice? Dated a D boy?
yeah,
After college?
in college.
In college. Okay. Okay, go ahead. I just want to be clear about that.
Okay, my thing is at 23, as a female, we normally not living with our parents at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like whatever money you do get, and he has too, and this could be the guy to go to school with you because I was in that situation also as well. But you still like to look nice, you still like to dress, you still like to smell good and keep up your appearance. So when you still have to pay your bills and take care of your other businesses that you need, that's the guy that really has the most money at the time, unless you're gonna go get an older guy,
Okay, so let me ask you, why not get an older guy or lower your bills? Why do you have so many bills at 23 that you need a D boy for?
Another thing too, as females when we younger,
You answer my question. Conversation. You answer my question. You don't just go on past it. Why not date an older man? If you need somebody that's making that kind of money, date a man that gets it, or lower your expenses. Why do you get to? Why go with somebody that's doing that? I mean, you got choices, right? You don't have to have that many expenses. Why not lower them?
you don't want to. I feel like as a woman, you like what you like.
Okay, so and we're not talking. I'm going to go from the point of we're talking about not stuff that's kid related. But basically, what you're saying is you don't want to. I like what I like, but can you afford that yourself?
I can now.
No. Back then, could you afford it?
No.
Then you don't deserve it. See, in the Black community, we talk about how messed up how the white man and white supremacy and racism and all this other stuff. But then you come through as a 23-year-old woman thinking you should have Gucci and Louis and Fendi and all this other kind of stuff when you don't make that kind of money to pay for it yourself. And then when you have a man that could pay for it, an older man, I don't want that dude because he old. Okay, then lower your standard of living. I don't want to. I mean, now, how do you think that impacts the way you look at men?
That's probably, I don't know.
Yeah, you do, because last night you said men are just providers. Last night you pretty much said you don't even know what men are for. Men are utilities. And I'm not judging, but honestly, it's like, I want what I want. Why not work to get it? Why not get it later on and pick a decent dude?
It's like the thing, dude, when it comes down to like a younger generation, it's like you want everything now. Like, I want to look good now. I don't want to wait on it.
Okay.
Like, we do have the materialism, like.
Right, but you're not a baby. 23, you're not a baby either. There's a price to pay for that. There's a price to pay for it, and that's what I'm trying to get folks to talk about. You have children.
Yep.
Yeah, so when it's time for Christmas, do you have 5 Christmas trees full of gifts?
No.
Why not? They want it.
I need 5 Christmas trees.
They want it. They want it. Kids want everything. They want it. See, LG, you see what I just showed you, LG, is the way you were talking as a 23-year-old young lady, you were really like a kid. I want what I want when I want it, how I want it. I don't care what I got to do to get it.
That's true.
Right. But at 23, you're out here making grown decisions. You already had children by that time, right?
That's true.
So were these guys around your kids?
No, one of them was a guy that I was seeing every day.
Right. So you knowingly had a D-boy around your children.
Yes.
Now you can't determine if and when something pops off illegally with that kind of stuff. You're putting your children's life at risk. Even though it may not, just stuff happens. I've seen this life, and the point I'm trying to make is you're talking for young women, but it's almost like you're justifying it. Like, yeah, well, it is what it is. I should get it. I'm broke. I was poor.
I'm not justifying it, but I'm just saying my mindset that I had when I was her age. I was doing the same stuff.
Right. So look at what it's reaped. So, I mean, honestly, right now, with your business is trying to get off the ground, all this other kind of stuff, Lorenzo, I see you. Would you do it again? Be honest. No one knows you, chick. Nobody knows you.
No, I wouldn't do it again because I do have actual friends that I've grown up with, and it's like those guys. I got a couple white-collar friends, and that stuff it scares them off. They get scared off.
Yeah, it scares them off because they don't want to go to jail or die.
They think somebody's about to do something to them for some reason, but.
Well, yeah. So this is what I mean. It has an impact on the way, in this case, our Black women think. You can be a delayed kid. You can want what you want, and then think you can get it fit in with. Well, I'm using the word right now. Good or normal dudes. Those are different lifestyles. How are you gonna go from that to dealing with a normal or a good dude when you used to fast money and you already got kids? You see how that plays?
I see it.
So entitled women as delusional as entitled men.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you.
Upbringing, social conditioning, rebellion to it.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Honesty is refreshing.
I'm I'm gonna tell you this too. It's not uncommon. I'm quite sure. I mean, you knew other attractive women that probably did some of the same stuff.
Yes, most of the females when I was around that age was. I mean, that's the dude to have when you want to, especially when you a decent looking female. You don't want to be out looking ate up or toe up or looking. You
Be honest with it. You used your beauty to get quick money, and that's what I'm talking about. So, but the thing is, now here comes the hard question: why not date the normal guy who was older? Or, I mean, I get why you're saying I want what I want. Okay, why not? Because here's the thing: you seems like you've had men options with men. You've chosen uh, poorly. Why? Did the older guys just turn you off? Did you, I mean, let's be real. Was it just because they didn't turn you on?
Yeah, and my thing is too, like when it comes down to older guys, if you out, okay, this is true. When you out with older guys, they like to be out showing women out off and whatnot. I'm not trying to go around my peers with no old man. They like, who is that? Your daddy? You out with your daddy? I don't want to hear that.
Okay, so
they like to
so
say all that good.
so now you don't want to go out with old men because your friends would say something. But here's the thing. And let's talk about it though. But do your friends have more than you have? I mean, are these women married? Are these women? I mean, why do these women's why do what these women say matter unless they have more than what you have?
They don't. It's really not the women. It's like my guy friends. They like what you doing?
Okay, the guy friends you have. Why do you have guy friends that can determine who you date?
They don't determine who I date. I mean, and that's a personal choice, also.
Well, you just said you wouldn't want to bring this older guy around your friends, and either they're male or female. What are they? Are they guys or girls?
Everybody, both.
Okay, and
We do.
do any of these people have more? Do these women who will be judging you, are they married or do they have more than you? Or do the guys who are judging you, are you okay? So their opinion really shouldn't matter. And the guys, are they guys that want to date you?
Probably so. Yeah, yeah.
So the man who can act, so understand something. You work now. It takes
Yes.
time to build up stuff. So if somebody who's done it and worked to get it, you let somebody who don't have what you have, or somebody who can't provide what the older guy provides, dissuade you from doing it the right way or the better way. Because honestly, women who like money are going to have to deal with older men. You can't make that kind of money legally as a young man. A 35-year-old man should have a 23-year-old woman. How about that? That's how old your wife should be. Happens all the time. 10-year gap. 7 to 10 years minimum. But
I heard that before.
But see, that's the thing. Putting pressure on young men to make the money that it requires a career or years to make makes it impossible for young men to have access to beautiful women. And then by the time you come into your hold on. And then by the time you come into start getting your mind right, you got 2 kids and all this baggage. This is why I said and I'm not just focusing on you. I'm just saying there's so many good looking women who this is the story. Are there any good women left for these dudes? I mean, let me put it to you this way. Take you out of it. I don't want to make it personal. But let's say your son goes to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on full scholarship. And then he goes to Northwestern Law. Would you be proud of him?
Yeah.
Okay, then he goes out and becomes one of the top attorneys at a prestigious firm. And he's on track to make partner by 35. Would you want him to date the 23-year-old version of you?
I wouldn't mind him messing with the 23-year-old. I probably would have broke his heart. But
No, I'm talking about the way you think. Fast money. I want what I want. You wouldn't mind your son dating that?
because the 23-year-old me, it was much more than me just dating a dude that was doing that, because I'm actually working myself up to be somebody else and do something
Were you
different.
gonna, whatever you were working up to do, would it have been more than what he would do as a partner at a law firm?
No.
See, this is another thing with our sisters. You really don't want to be, when you say you want to be wives, what you really are saying, you want to be 50-50 partners. You're not looking to be led by a man. Or even our good, huh?
No, women. I mean, I don't think most women are looking to be led by nobody.
You mean most, you must be, most who, what women? Black women
I'm
or just
gonna
women
tell
in
you about.
general?
I
Sh
can't. I'm
Lorenzo, I
gonna
see
say.
you. I would tell you
I'm
this.
not gonna just.
I would tell you this. This is why black women are married at the rate there. See, when you talk about, hear men talking about save yourself, black men, you hear people talking about dating out, you know. How do you feel about when you see a black man married to a white woman? Does it bother you? Do you care?
At some point, I don't. I really don't.
Okay.
Because it's like you probably don't know sister anyways.
You don't want to what?
You probably grew up.
You
They
probably
probably
what?
want a sister anyway. Probably grew
Yeah,
up around them. You
what
don't
do
know
you
that.
mean? No. So you just prescribed that to, but would you want your, well, I put it to your son. Would you want your son to be with a black woman, or you care who he's with?
No, I do care. I want some black grandkids. No.
Okay, and I don't know if you understand, but the way you're talking, would you want your son to
Yes.
date a black woman like you were talking about you at 23? Or would you want him to date a woman who's really want to be a wife and more traditional?
I wasn't bad. I was level headed at 23. I just like to look good too. You know, ain't nothing wrong with a female liking to look good.
You were not level-headed at 23. You want to think
Well,
you
I
were
thought I was.
level-headed. No, you weren't, because if you were, you wouldn't be where you are at 30. No,
I think I'm all right.
okay. You think you are you think you're all right. Okay. Go back and look at last night's show when we started talking about, you know,
She said she would have broken his heart.
right.
Pete Pitcairn.
Yeah, I got that. Go back and look at last night's show when I started asking you what are men for. I mean, maybe you're okay relative to the situation you came from, but I'm gonna tell you right now, did you not hear anything that the women were saying on the panel? I mean, you're going to counseling later on this month. I mean, let's just be
Yeah.
real. 2 kids out of wedlock. That's not all right. Just because it's what you see, it's not all right. And to say, I basically gave you a perfect son. And you would say, I would still think it's okay for him to put this level of risk into his life just because she's black. No, ma'am. Lorenzo, you here?
Yes, I'm here.
What do you got for us? You stay on, LJ.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Oh yes, I was listening to the young lady from last night, and I went through a similar experience when I was in college. I'm similar to you. I went to state school. I was in a fraternity, and I was, popular guy around campus, and I was dating a girl at the time, and we dated for about a year, and eventually, she broke up with me for this drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to the same school as us as well. He went to the same university as us. And yeah, it was like she just liked the excitement. And it was funny. What was funny about it was when me and her broke up, we still casually would have sex. And she would even tell me that he was jealous of me because I was a popular guy on campus and he wasn't. But he had more money than me. And
Right.
he was exciting. He was exciting to her. So,
Well,
course, like you said, like, you know, I had to get, you know, my priorities straight and figure out what was important to me. So I broke up with her. I didn't break up with her. She broke up with me.
Okay, let's hold up. Hold on.
Having sex with her.
Hold on. Oh, you need to get some. So first up, all right, something's going on with you on your side. What is that? What is that going on in the background? Let me mute everybody. I don't know what's going on, but I muted everybody in the background. First off, you broke up. She broke up with you for a drug dealer. Okay, but y'all was still having sex. Don't know why that was going on, but when you do that white-collar drug dealing, you're cheating. I mean, oftentimes that's really what it comes down to, because guys can't really win on their own. This is my opinion. Guys who can win don't go try to use the drugs and shit to get ahead. They don't need the money. They're using it to get that. They don't need it to survive. They're using it to skip steps. Happens, but the question is, what's going on with her now? What's going on with her now? Where is she at in life right now?
I mean, this was a while ago. This was
Is she married?
No, she's not married. This was like this happened back in 2000.
Any kids?
No kids.
Okay, did she look the same?
Nah, back then she was a lot better looking back then, yeah.
So when I ask what's going on with her now, you have Facebook, you look at your exes. Come on, man, let's be real. The women are being real, you be real. What she look like?
I mean, she's like, I would say like a 7.
Dude, is she fat? Is she still the same size? I mean,
yeah, she's still the same size. She's not like.
All right, and how old are you?
I'm 30.
And is she still unmarried?
Yes.
All right. What about your status?
I've been married before, been divorced. I got married.
So have you ran into her right? Have you ran into her since college?
Nah.
Well, you know, there you go. But it's not uncommon that women aren't married after this kind of stuff. So after y'all stopped, after she broke up with you, you said y'all still hooked up.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, occasionally.
Why?
I think she was confused.
No. Why? No, you have your junk. Why would you do that?
I mean, back then I thought I was in love, but now that I look back at it, I'm like, were you really? Would you call that love?
Oh, hold on. She can dump you for a drug dealer, and your self-esteem was so low that you thought she was all you could get.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Nah.
You couldn't get, well, hold on. You mean you could go get better?
Absolutely.
So why didn't you? That does not follow logic. That does not follow human nature. If you can get a better quality of woman or access to sex, you don't go back to somebody who's dumped you for a drug dealer. It was comfortable and convenient. It was comfortable and convenient, and you were willing to take a drug dealer's sloppy seconds. That says something about you, bro.
Right. Back then, yeah, I would say, yeah. Back then, yeah.
That's what I was asking for.
Yeah.
See, we can always look at these women and say how jacked up they are, but bro, when she dumped you for a drug dealer, you should have put a period there and kept on moving.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah.
This is why when I ask you what's going on with her now, see, I'll ask one more question. Did it break your heart when she dumped you?
Hell yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And she was in a leader role. You were in the beta role. She broke your heart, was screwing to somebody who was drug dealing, and you sit around to take his sloppy seconds. Bruh, have you got any, you said you've been divorced. Who filed divorce? You or your wife?
Yeah, my wife did, yeah.
Was she cheating on you?
Nah, she wasn't.
Why did she file for divorce? Why did she file for divorce?
I don't think. Well, she said she wasn't happy. She said she wasn't happy in the marriage.
All right. Women don't break up with men for no reason. It's been my experience that if a woman's filing for divorce, the relationship has long been over. Guys,
Yeah, I know that now.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I've been divorced for about 3 years.
Huh?
I've been divorced for 3 years, so I know
what
that
are you
now.
what are you doing about your issues though?
I mean, I've
Have you gone to see a counselor?
No, I don't think I need counseling. I think I
Oh,
need to make more money.
Whoa. Pump your brakes. You definitely need counseling, brother. Let me tell you why.
All right, tell me.
First off, look at the drug dealer situation. Your self-esteem and self-confidence, you should have had some pride. That's one woman who left you that you stayed around taking sloppy seconds of a drug dealer. And who else do you know? Who else that drug dealer was screwing? Was your ex-girlfriend? Were y'all using condoms? Was she on the
Nah,
Oh,
nah.
so you were having unprotected sex knowingly when she had the boyfriend who was a drug dealer, and that made sense to you? That you cared about yourself that little? All right. Then we move over to your marriage that a woman left you because she said she's unhappy. Women don't break up for relationships that they're happy in. Dude, the relationship was not that good anyway, and you definitely weren't leading. When you get to a point to where women leave us, they don't want to do that. I've been broken up with before, and I tell you, when I look back, if I had been the man I needed to be, I would have left her.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if you know this, then what? Then you have some underlying issues.
Well, I know now. When I was in it.
Then if you know now, what are you doing about them? You don't fix these things yourself. Why not go? Why? What is it with Black folks in therapy, man? Are you thinking that going to a counselor means you're crazy? Divorce is like the closest thing a human being can have to death. And you got no help for that. What is it about black folk in therapy, man? What's the truth? I don't know you. No one. Why not go? You're gainfully employed, yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then you have insurance. Then you have insurance benefits. You probably have an employee assistance line.
Yeah, I mean, I never felt like I needed counseling.
What would your father say?
He wasn't in my life. My dad wasn't around, so I mean,
there you go.
I had to make mistakes.
No. See, no, we're gonna back up. Smart men learn from the mistakes of others. Are you telling me that you got to go make every mistake in order to learn and to do better? That's a hard way to live. And why would a woman worth her salt want to be with a guy who does not even who has to make all these mistakes?
Right, I see what you mean.
You need counseling because you're not in a relationship now.
No.
Okay, was the relationship you were in was your marriage?
That was the last relationship I was in.
And then prior to your marriage, how many relationships did you have before the girl that broke your heart in college?
So after the girl that broke my heart in college, I had one other serious relationship that would last. How long did that last? 2 years. It was 2 years.
So how old are you? 30?
Yes, I'm 30.
So since college, you've had 3 serious relationships.
Right.
You're an attachment guy. You don't have a lot of experience. You haven't got out here and sound like you dated a lot of women. You date a woman, you fall in love, and you make whatever the situation is work. Did the second girlfriend dump you too? Yes.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
So all 3 women in your life, all 3 women in your life that you've loved left you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You don't think you need to talk to somebody about this. You think this is how it's supposed to go?
No.
Okay, then why not? At what point do you sit back and say, bruh, this ain't right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say after the second long-term relationship, I felt like there was something I was missing, you know.
And what did you do about it?
I felt like I didn't go get counseling.
I don't want to
like,
hear about what you feel. Men don't talk in that language, man. Take that out of your vocabulary. Men don't
right.
talk about what we feel. We think or we know. What did you do about it? The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing.
I went out and sought after a different type of woman.
Using this, but here's the thing. You went out and sought after a different kind of woman using the same thought process that got you the first two. It's called stinking thinking. I think in this 3 minutes we've demonstrated you need counseling, dude. 3 women leaving you. Okay, nothing to be proud of, but you can't. This is a pattern, and you don't have the awareness to even determine what's wrong. And this is what happens with so many of us, because I've been in a lot of counseling. That's why I'm telling you about it. Black folks, we don't like to talk. We don't like to go get it. Therapy or help. We think we should be able to just blood and guts it and pray it away. You cannot keep running the same play and expect a different result.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So if you're a fairly attractive guy, you're a fairly attractive guy, you have experience with women. You don't have a problem getting women, but you have a problem keeping them, of course. Okay. What makes a guy like that feel like he needs counseling? Let me give you a real simple example.
Life is not about what you get, it's about what you keep. You can't keep anything. See, you're a short-term player. You may be above average level of attractiveness, above average level of communication, charisma. You may be a good-looking dude, but there's not enough character or there to keep that woman in love with you, desiring you. There's something missing, a whole lot. And guess what? You're 30. What does that look like when you're 50? A man who cannot keep a woman, a man who can get them, but they leave him for other men. And your question is, what makes you think that guy needs counseling? The inability to hold on to a relationship, or the inability to pick a woman worth holding on to. Same reason I went to counseling. Same reason most men go to counseling. Same reason most people. There's something wrong. You don't want to admit there's anything wrong. Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
thank you, Unsunken One. He got a catch hand, but he not a keep glove. Thank you. You can catch what you can't keep. It's like a sieve. You pour it in, it just comes out of the bottom. Come on, folks. More people in.
Okay.
Showstopper.
Okay.
Did you think about what I said, Showstopper?
Yeah, I did.
So what did you come up with? See, LG, do you understand? LG, do you understand that the guy that I was just talking to was raised kind of like what we're talking about, no father. And this makes us ineffectual men because we end up getting women who are stronger, more dominant, more aggressive, more of in a leadership role. Do you want this for your son?
No, I don't want my son to be no ineffective guy.
All right. Well, what are we going to do about these things? See, Lorenzo as a man, he has to choose whether or not he's going to put his pride and ego to the side to get the help he needs. But as you as a mother, you can decide to get the help that you need to help for you, and then to put him in put your boy in circumstances to be around more of the strong, effectual men that will be good role models for your son, because we learn what we see. We don't listen to our mothers. We learn what we see. My behavior was learned. Lorenzo's behavior was learned. Your behavior was learned. And it's easier to raise strong boys than fix broken men. Broken men break things. Broken men go around hurting people, especially if they're good looking face dudes, they go around making babies.
And this my thing too right here. Me as a woman, I am not a man. I'm a woman. When it comes down to the man and how y'all are in y'all head, I can go off what I think and what my experience is with guys, but I don't know, he gonna be like me, I guess, you know?
Yeah, because you're a fully functioning adult and you don't have it figured out, but you're raising one. You're raising a man.
Damn.
Yeah, this is what it comes down to. So this is where this is like the whole white collar, you know, college educated women like white collar dealers, because they're doing this stuff to impress women. And we're talking about guys who make enough money to live a normal life. Impress women for what? You impress women more with character than you do with fast money and this and that, because you are going to come a point in time where you're going to be tired of the risk. You want to get out, but you're going to be in deep enough to what? Can't. And the very woman you didn't want to lose is going, you don't end up losing, you're going to lose. Hit the link, folks, if you want to get on the show, because I think this is a topic that a lot of people really don't know how widespread this is. Really don't get it. We just think that that's TV show. It's TV show. And funny thing is, how does this impact the average man, the average image of men? What is the image of men today? Don't break it down by race. Break it down just by what is the average of men, the image of men. Are men today looked at as strong, effective? Are men today looked at like men of previous generations? The men who built railroads and buildings and skyscrapers and rail and airplanes, men who did the physical labor to build this world. Are men today like that? Are men today, whether or not they still physically do the physical labor, do they still have that level of character, willing to do the work? Who is this fool coming in and say, bro, you sound beta? Get on the line, I'll tell you that. Get on the line. See, what I don't do is I don't have guys coming in here. Yeah, you can't tell me anything with it. You get on the line. Here you go. BBQ Trini, come on. Get on the line, because here's the problem. Guys throw this word beta around left and right. Come on, be a grown man. Do you have the emotional vocabulary to actually talk about what we're talking about? Do you? Go ahead, Tone. Oh, okay, BB Tree, not me. Cool. Cool. He's saying he wasn't talking about Kevin. Here's the thing, man.
Sorry.
Calling folks
Quite
beta, what's going on to where, let me see what BB, what are you doing in here? Tone, you're in here. Men choose when to get into a relationship, women choose when to end it. No, women do not choose it. You should be ending relationships. As a man, I'm gonna talk about this too. Man, here's the thing. If you have never walked away from a relationship, if you have never left a woman, you have not fully reached your man. You have not fully reached maturity as far as I'm concerned. You have to be able, the most effective thing a man can do is vote with his feet. When you're a woman or a woman you're dealing with starts acting out of line, you can check her once, say something once, correct it once, and then if she persists, you leave. On a dime, no question, no conversation. Why are so many women leaving men today when men actually used to be when women were the ones who want to be married in secure relationships? There we go.
What's going on?
What's going on, Tone? What you got for me?
Yeah, I just want to comment about the topic you just spoke about. You know, I went through a situation, bro, that is like devastating. And, you know, I might need some counseling. I was just over here talking to one of my partners, and the way the society, the way the system works, bro, is so messed up that the women, if they want to, they can lie to the police and get you jammed up in the system.
Meaning what?
Meaning, like, say a woman want to get her way and want to get revenge, she can say, "Oh, he put his hands on me, blase, Skippy," and you'll go to jail. I was fighting for my life, you know.
Hold on. You're gonna have to walk me through that because I've dealt with some toxic women.
Yeah, man.
But why didn't you just leave?
You know what? I did leave, but the woman attacked me. So what you supposed to do then? So it's like,
okay, where you at? Are you out in public or are you at home?
In public, yes. So now you.
Hold on. So you were sitting there eating your meal, drinking some water, and out of nowhere, she just leaped across the table and started whooping your ass?
Oh, not at all. It was a lie. Okay, it was like that. It was a lie. No physical touching at all. Just trying to get one up on me.
Explain what happened. You were out public with her, and what happened?
Well, I was out in public. We had a discussion about, you know, we were supposed to meet up. It was late. She thought I was cheating, something like that.
Stop right there. She accused you of cheating, right?
Correct.
All right. And then what did you do?
I attempted to say that, you know, you crazy. I'm about to walk away.
Okay.
Walk away and leave you alone because I see you crazy. She said, "No, get over here. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you I'm crazy." And called the police and said I put my hands on her. Police showed up. I'm attempting to get away. She followed me, made a big scene.
Stop right here. The woman accused you of cheating. Were you cheating on her?
Not at all.
And your response was to argue with her?
I said I got away from her. I said, "You're crazy. I'm getting away from you." And
all right. Okay, but do you make room for the fact that you should have just left? That didn't even need to be said. You call a woman crazy in public, you call a crazy woman crazy and think she's not gonna act crazy? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really believe that woman's crazy, bounce. There's no need to have a conversation back and forth with her. And if you didn't touch her, you're not there when, I mean, I get women can call the police, but if you didn't put your hands on her and you're not arguing with her, you should be gone. She wants to file a false police report. They can do all that. Cool. But if you're in public, you got witnesses, people could corroborate your story. See, what a lot of you guys got to do is stop trying to win arguments with women.
First of all, I never argued at all with her. There was no
argument.
You
crazy. You crazy. I ain't cheating. And the next thing she did is say, "I'll show you how crazy I am. I'm going to call the police."
Yeah, that bitch did that.
Okay. And that's the first time y'all ever had any conflict. No. And that was what I'm talking about. It doesn't, I get what goes on in the world, but it doesn't just go from 0 to 100. You missing taking stuff out of here. You've had arguments, problems with this woman before. And she showed you she was unstable and you stayed.
Yo,
Yes, I mean, am I right or wrong?
You're right.
All right, then, that's what I'm saying. You should have left. She realized she could push your buttons, and she realized you didn't have enough balls to walk. So she called them people on you. You should have the balls to walk after the first time. Don't play with me. Leave. Wouldn't that have been a better outcome? I mean, leave for real, for real. Block, delete, ghost.
Yo, Kev. Hello?
I'm unmuted. Okay, go ahead. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Hello?
Sorry about it. Jason. Go ahead, please.
Yo, Kev, can you hear me, bro?
I can. Go ahead, my friend.
Yo, big shout out to you, man. I just started following you like I say 3-4 months ago. I've been loving the content I've been getting, especially the show you did about the E85 octane women, bro. That was a deep, very deep show.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What you
that
got
shit
for
was
me?
deep.
What you got?
I wanted to kind of bring up like how you say needing a counselor or whatever. Like a lot of times I feel like guys, a lot of men and women probably too come from broken homes, especially in the Black community, come from broken homes.
Mm-hmm.
And they get to the point in life to where they're adults now and they have psychological issues. And I'm gonna just speak for myself, right? So I'm originally from down south, like you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the South or whatever, and the people down there are different. Talking to women, it was different for me, I feel like. And down there I had a support system as far as my friends and things like that, to where I didn't never have no trouble down there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But when I made a move from down south, because I'm from Mississippi originally, and it wasn't no money down there. I was getting older, you know. By the time I was 25, I was like, man, I'm not gonna waste my whole existence in the middle of nowhere. I can't make no money. I can't do nothing. And you know, I had a lot of older family members. I'm the youngest, so I had a lot of older siblings who were already established in these cities. They were already established in you know, Dallas, Houston, and places like that. Long story short, nobody lent out a helping hand when I wanted to get out of Mississippi. It was all like discouraging, negative talk when I reached out to any of my siblings about potentially moving. I had to do it on myself. Had to move to a freaking homeless shelter, man, or whatever. When I eventually moved out, but I said all that to say, when I came to a city on the East Coast, man, and you know, this was supposed to be the end, but I thrived out here, bro. I came to a city, bro, and they have like the illegal immigrants that be out there working early in the morning to get labor. Like when I came out here, I didn't have no job. I had $500 in a car.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sleeping in my car, bro. I was going out there every morning working with the immigrants, man, making $100 a day, $120 a day. Kept money in my pocket till I found the job. Found the job making $17 an hour. This was 5 years ago, starting off in pharmaceuticals. Now, bro, and I thank God, man, because I got a job now paying $45 an hour as an engineer. And I ain't never went to I went to college, but I didn't graduate. But I went to a college down there, Jackson State, or whatever. I ain't graduated. I ain't had the money or whatever. But
Go ahead. Hold on, Letitia, call in if you have a different problem. So you just wanted to tell your story. Did you have a question?
I wanted to say, like, I guess I can make it a question. The main problem I've had out here is like meeting people, because like people are you can't trust nobody when you're older, moving to a new city.
Oh, no. How old are you?
I'm 38 now.
I'm 50. I moved to Atlanta. I trust people all the time. See that whole we can't trust nobody. Why? I moved to New York City when I was 28 years old. From Dallas, never even visited. I visited on a Friday. I moved up on a Wednesday. Why? Why can't you trust nobody? Everybody gonna fuck over you? Everybody out to get you? They
You
got
can
to
lose your
hustle.
life. That's why, like, you taking chances
Really?
on your life when you let
Really?
a stranger in.
You have a there we go. You take a chance on your life when you let a stranger in, but you've already talked about how your own family wasn't any help, right?
Right.
Seems like your family's done you more harm than strangers do.
That's true. I've had strangers.
But you're about to contradict yourself. I've had strangers help me.
Exactly.
So what are you talking about? You can't trust nobody. You take a chance on your life. Man, first off, let's get to the reality. Life is people. Plain and simple. Life is people. It's relationships. If you think you are protecting yourself by building a fortress around yourself and not trusting anybody, you're at more risk than anybody. You're alone. Break your leg and see what happens. How much money you got in the bank? You think you can survive being off your feet, broken ankle, non-weight bearing for 13 weeks? What would that look like? What would that look like right now? What position would you be in 13 weeks from now if you could not drive? You could not walk. You got the money to hire people to come to your house to take care of you every day?
And that's the thing, man. I haven't been able to establish any type of meaningful relationships out here. And I guess
but the problem is, your problem is your mindset. Your mindset is already strangers bad. How you can expect to establish meaningful relationships when you go into it with your guard up? This is where counseling comes in hand, because I did a show about lone wolves. Lone wolves die in the cold winter. Look, man, the day labor stuff you was doing that got you on your feet, it was critical. But imagine if you'd got hurt 3 days into it. That $120 a day would have stopped like that. Living in your car, you'd have ran out of money in under a week because you got no relationships. You got to go address whatever it is.
And in a situation like that, I'm gonna say this too, Kev. I know I'm not alone out here, because anybody that's listening, anybody, you know what I'm saying? If you was to break your leg right now, something really bad was to happen to you to where you needed somebody else's attention to care for yourself, how many people can really say, oh, I know I got my brother, I know I got this person that's gonna wheel me around in a wheelchair and help me out for a month or two till I get back on my feet? How many people can say that?
But you got to figure out what's going on with you, because I'm gonna tell you right now, even on YouTube, I'm known for not beefing. I don't take a lot of shit personally. See, there's 7 billion people in the world. Jason, let me be real with you. They don't know you, and they ain't worried the least fuck about you. They got their own problems. Ain't nobody, I mean, due respect, you may be making $45 an hour, but ain't nobody trying to rip you off. Don't they care? I moved to New York City and I heard, hold on. I moved to New York City and I heard how rude and how mean New Yorkers were. And New Yorkers are some of the nicest people I've ever met. They just didn't expect anybody to be nice to them. I'd speak to New Yorkers. I got more love.
I agree, Kev. Maybe it's the play. Maybe I need to move, man. Maybe
No. You take you everywhere you go. You need
but when I go to New York, it's love.
No,
I feel the same
but
way.
You can't. Okay, you cannot. Okay, listen to me, brother. You got to fix your perspective, and there will be love wherever. Just because it may be more in New York, it's also, what's wrong with going and addressing the issues?
You're right, Kev, but now that you really making me think now. You're a very deep dude, bro, and you're really making me think. And now that you're saying that, I done been a couple places in this world, man. I've only had this problem with not establishing relationships in this city. I've never had that problem anywhere else. Not in Atlanta, not in Houston, not in Mississippi, nowhere else but this East where I'm at now. And I'm gonna go ahead and who cares? I'm in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I've never had that problem anywhere but Philadelphia, bro. When I go to New York, anywhere else is love.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So maybe I need to get the hell out
No,
of Philadelphia.
no, you still, okay. All right. You're still wanting the cart before the horse. Philadelphia is not your problem. Why is it you keep trying to make Philly your problem just because you've had decent interactions?
I'm not trying to make it my problem. You just made me think when you said that.
But I'm trying to get you to think about is, look, man, you described a home life or upbringing of not being able to trust or depend on your family, right? Right?
When you say trust and depend, because when you're a kid, like I'm not really having to trust and depend on my brothers. You know what I'm saying? But
I asked you about when you were being raised. I listened to your story. You said you couldn't trust anybody. You couldn't depend on anybody. Do you have brothers?
Right. Yep.
Were your mother and father married?
Yep.
Okay. Were you raised in a loving family that had each other's back? No.
My mom and my dad was solid, man. You know, they came.
A loving family that had each other's back?
I'm the youngest, so I don't like. I'm
a loving family that had each other's back. That means your siblings, your cousins. The answer is no. So if your first social group was your family and it was not loving or functional, that's your mentality. That's your mindset. The first thing you said is you can't trust strangers because you bring a stranger into your life, you open yourself up for destruction. Brother, you need to go talk this. Okay, you don't have to. But just because you're in Philly and things may be tough, I'm telling you, New York is New York, the cost of living is crazy. And you take you everywhere you go. When's the last time you had a long-term, loving, committed relationship with a woman?
Probably like 5 years.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
How long did that last?
For like 2 years.
2 years. Is she married now?
She with somebody. I don't think they married.
Okay, and you're alone, right?
Right.
Right. And before that 5-year relationship, 5 years, 2 years, before that, what was your other relationship?
I was in a long-term relationship before that for like maybe 5 years.
So 2 women in 10 years.
2 long-term relationships, not 2 women.
Well, you said 5 years for one, and then you said another one.
You said loving, committed.
So how many women? Okay.
So that was.
So 5 years ago, you had a girlfriend that lasted for 2 years. That's what you said. And then I said, what about the one before that?
Right.
You said that was 5 years ago after that, right?
No, I said that lasted for like maybe 4 or 5 years. I'm gonna say probably about 5 years.
Okay, so in a 10-year span, you were with a total of 2 women.
In a relationship, yes.
Right. And did the women break it off or did you break it off?
To be honest, man, the last one, I think
there's no mutual anything. If it's mutual, she broke it off.
Well, you can say that because she didn't want to move. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to move.
All right. So she wasn't following you. Cool.
Yep.
The point is, you haven't been with anybody for 5 years. At your age, how old are you?
38.
38. At 38 years old, did you imagine you would be by yourself at 38?
Did I imagine that?
Yeah. Did you imagine 38 years old, I'd be unmarried by myself?
Hell no.
All right then. And you still said that with a level of disappointment. That's what I'm talking about. It's not normal for us to be unattached and floating around like this. There's some issues there, man. It's not an insult. But, you know, you're only getting older. No one thought, when we were little boys, no one said, you know what I want to be? I want to be a 50-year-old by myself with no children, living in a 1-bedroom apartment, making money. When we think about life and happiness, yeah, we want stuff. Yeah, we want money, we want cars, we want homes, but we want people there. All that stuff, but we want people. We just assume that people are automatically happen. No, relationships take work. And the first relationship you got to work on is yours with yourself. That's all of us. All right. So what's the apprehension about going to therapy? There seems to be.
I don't have an apprehension about it. I got
cool.
Man, I got something booked. And I think they can pencil me in until like April. So
April?
Yeah.
No, bro, you can get in. You can go. The kind of money you're making, you can get in way before that. Therapy, you got an employee assistance line usually. There has to be a solution before that. I don't accept 60 days out.
I can call around, I guess. I only call like a few people. I can keep calling around.
You gotta approach getting yourself where you need to be, just like you approached hustling to get them day labor jobs. See, you'll do that work, but this part is gonna be work on yourself. And you'll be a better man for you. Because this year I'm about men being happy. You hear a lot of this stuff talking about get on your grind, get on your purpose, hustle.
Yo, Kev, you know what? This what I really want to ask you, Kev. I'm glad you actually taking the time to speak with me too, man, because this is what I really want to ask you, because this is the real situation, man. Forget the, you know, I ain't gonna say forget it. That I still want, of course, like you said, nobody wants to be a 50-year-old guy that's single, whatever, but I'm gonna say this. I got a year and a half, I got an 18-month contract. And I really feel like the money I'm making, man, after these 18 months, I shouldn't be looking for no other job. I should be fully on my feet, you know what I'm saying? Living like y'all living, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the question I really should have asked from the door. Forget all that other stuff. How can I, after 18 months, how can I be a type of person who can travel the world and be around the people that I want to be around and see the people who I want to see and live my life how I want to live my life and not go to a job sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours a day around people who don't care about you and you don't care about them?
You can't. Hold on, first off, that's not realistic, man. I mean, 18 months of earning, even $45 an hour may sound like a lot, but that's not a lot to live on. I mean, what you've discovered, life, let me put it this way. First off, life ain't that. Life ain't traveling, eating lobster, partying. Don't let YouTube and social media.
Nah, Kev, you know how, like you say, people's definition of success, everybody got a different definition of success. What I really was asking you is how to be successful, because that's my definition of success. Being able to be around the people I want to be around.
This is where counseling and coaching is going to come into it, because I got to ask you, did you go to college?
I didn't graduate yet.
Okay, so you've not really you haven't described a work history at 38 years old to where you've been earning any money. So how you going to make money? Where's all the money at? Before you can start living.
I want to make investments, man.
Okay, but there are no shortcuts. There are no cheats. I don't want to waste. Okay, there are no
I'm not looking for no shortcuts, man. All the work I've been part of.
But you got 8. Okay.
You sound like the type of guy that's looking
you asked the question. You got a lot of emotion going on, bro. And I feel you. I understand you want it, but you got to ask: is what you want realistic? You got an 18-month contract, right?
Making $45 an hour.
Bro, that's a lot of money from where you came from, but that ain't a lot of money to live on. After 18 months, how much money will you have put to the side?
Realistically, I could have 40 or 50,000 put to the side in
Okay.
18 months.
Okay. Let's give you 50. Let's give you 60. What city you plan on living in after with $60,000 cash at 39? Let's give you 40 years old. 40 years old, $60,000. $60,000 is not enough money to live on for a lifetime. That $60,000 has to go where? You think you
Into
can take
investments.
okay, and what do you know about investing that can you take $60,000 and make enough money to live on the interest?
That's what I need to be trying to figure out in the next
There's
year and a
nothing.
half.
There's nothing. There's nothing. Mutual funds are going to be the highest rate of return. That's 10 to 12%, but you got to have your money in there for about 10 years. Put your money in the savings account, you're going to get less than 1%. The only way you're going to make that $60,000 making things is to put it in some
What about make
dope.
a documentary, Kevin?
Good. Who's
What
going
about
to
make a successful documentary?
Okay, you can do that. You're going to invest your money in a documentary. Who's going to buy tickets for the documentary?
Say what now?
Who's going to buy it? Who's going to pay you money to go watch that?
I mean, the demographic that I want to cater to, like I said, if it's successful.
There are tons of documentaries on, okay, brother. Okay. Let me give you my straight opinion. $60,000, you're not in the position from a skill set or a money position to think you can just quit working in 2 years. Knock that off. You take that $60,000, the only way you're going to ever get any money back is if you possibly put it on the street. And if it come back, it come back, but it likely won't. There is nothing you're going to take a lump sum of money in, go put it in something, and turn around to make enough money to where you can live life. You can make a documentary. Do you know how many documentaries are on YouTube right now? You know how many fan films and things are on YouTube? You know how much money it costs to make that kind of stuff? You put $60,000 into a documentary where like Hidden Colors, how much you think that's gonna make? Here's a better question. Why don't you want? Here's the better question. I got somebody. Hold on. I got somebody else coming. Here's the better question. Why don't you want to work for the rest of your life like us? Why don't you want to work for it?
Say what now?
Why don't you want to work like the rest of us?
Why don't I want to work like?
Why don't you want to work like the rest of us? Why don't you want to work?
So you think making a documentary is not working?
Are
making
you
investments? That's not working.
Okay, investments is just a vague word. Investments in what?
I'm saying being a businessman, being an entrepreneur. That's what I want to be.
Okay, but
I don't want to be a worker.
Okay. What does an entrepreneur do?
What is an entrepreneur? What now?
What do we do?
Hustle. We hustle.
You guys run businesses.
We run businesses, but we don't just, it's not magic. It's not magic. It's not magic, man. It's not magic. You said, I want to make a documentary. I want to make investments. Okay, investments in what? The stock market? Into startup companies?
That's long term. That's not nothing that's like you say. That's not nothing you're gonna do in 18 months.
All right. What I'm saying is this. What I'm gathering from you is it's almost like you're coming at with a street mentality, quick money. And that's not how it works. It's not how it works. And when you say make a documentary, how much do you think it costs to make a documentary, and how much money do you think you make from the documentary?
Just learning from the people, like the wise person. Like
do you know what do you know about making film?
The dude that made Hidden Colors, what did he know about making films before he made Hidden Colors? And how much do you think he made off Hidden Colors?
Okay. All right. I've given you several. You do what you want to, man. But there's a knowledge and a skill set. Just because you got some money don't mean you can be an entrepreneur. That's only 20 or 30% of the population cut out to be business owners.
But somebody's got to work. Question too. Can I ask you one question though? Like, how do you know?
I got other people on. I got other people on.
I don't have. How do you know my talents? Like, how do you know just by talking to me for however long?
I would say, how do I know? Based on the logic of your train of thought, And being in business for as long as I was, I'm not hearing anything that you're not making any business sense. I've come from 25 years of corporate America. I've run 2 businesses. I'm not hearing anything because you're just saying documentary, entrepreneur, investment. These are buzzwords. There's no plan. And then even I said, what you know what it takes to make money at a documentary? And you said, well, what about the guy who did it? His name was Tariq Nasheed. And he comes from a background of he'd already written books. He already had enough money. He already had the connections. And he actually knew how to market it. He on his YouTube channel right now, where he brought from Ustream. See, I know more about Tariq Nasheed and Hidden Colors than you do, and I don't know him. But he has a successful podcast or a radio show.
I know all of that, Cam.
Okay, but the thing is, but he's Tariq Nasheed. He's Tariq Nasheed.
He's Tariq Nasheed.
Okay, who knows you, dude? That's the real. You make Hidden Colors. Who knows you? Who's going to buy it? It has to be sold. You make the best documentary ever. Who knows you?
I have a marketing plan, Cam. That's a thing. That's another
okay.
thing.
You have a marketing plan, but you did not answer. You did not answer my fundamental question. Who knows you? You can have a marketing plan. It's a great marketing plan. You only got $60,000 to make a documentary and market a documentary. But who knows you? You still got to sell it.
That's where the marketing plan comes in.
All right. Somebody else want to take a shot at this because apparently I'm not getting through. I'm not trying to tell you it's not. I'm not telling. See, here's the thing. You don't want to hear the fact that you don't have a well thought out plan. You got an idea. Knock yourself out.
We'll work it out.
No, but see, and I'm not going to tell that to brothers. I'm not going to do that. I'm not just going to tell brothers you're going to work it out because that's not true. In order to be in business for yourself as someone who's done it, as someone who knows people that do it, it takes a lot of work. It takes overnight successes are 10 years in the making. And if you want to just work for 18 months, you don't want to do the work. You want the result.
No, I
don't fault you for wanting the result, but you don't have a connections to make the kind of money to live off of.
That's where the disconnect is coming in, I think. I think some kind of way you got the impression that I said I wanted to work for 18 months and I didn't want to do nothing else after that but sit on my butt. I don't know.
No, you said you don't want to go to an office and all that other kind of stuff. You want to be an entrepreneur after 18 months.
Entrepreneurs work.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
So you're saying,
Jason, let me ask you this.
It's not possible to be an entrepreneur.
No, I'm not saying, no. Okay, dude, I'm not going to argue with you. This is not the tone of the show, honestly. I'm going to ask you several simple questions. How many entrepreneurs or business owners do you personally know?
Do I know personally?
Yes.
I don't know the phone keeper. If you ask me personally, I know about probably 2.
Okay, and what are they doing?
One of them, he's been doing it for a long time, man.
What does he do? What's his industry? What's his industry?
I don't know what's the name of the industry, but he sells art prints. He has his own framing shop. He sells art prints and he does photography. Well, his brother does the photography, but he pretty much just sells prints and all type of art stuff like that. He got his own framing and art shop. And
that's what he does full time.
That's what he does full time, and he's been doing it full time for the past 10 years. I remember when we was in college.
How much money does he make a year?
I don't know all of that, Kev.
Well,
but I see him.
Okay. So let me stop.
On LinkedIn.
Hold on. What does the other person that you know do?
Let me see, because I know at least 2 people. Who else do I know?
All right. Well, you don't know.
I don't know. I can't.
Okay, so you know one guy who sells art prints. All right. What do you personally know about running a business?
I don't know nothing about running a business.
Where are you going to get that knowledge?
We live in the age of information, and if anybody wants any type of knowledge, it's at their fingertips.
Right.
In the age that we live in.
Okay, libraries have always existed. Where are you going to get that knowledge to apply it? Do you think it's going to just be going on to Google? I mean, how do you think you're going to get this knowledge into your, hold on. Take a breath. Where do you think you're going to get this knowledge to go into your mind to where it can be actionable, that you can use it to actually learn, make money?
From firsthand experience from other entrepreneurs, which is why I feel like I wanted to move to this area, because it's loaded with entrepreneurs. People like Damon John, who started FUBU in New York City. People like who I had a class. I already got a class scheduled with him on February 22nd, a real estate class with Mark Flip Houses.
Okay. All right, man. Everything. I'm not going to say everything's possible. I know the real estate class you're talking about.
I don't even want to meet you, to be honest. If you was, but you're in Atlanta. I'm in the New York City area, I guess.
Well, I would tell you this.
But that's how I plan on doing it.
But I would tell you this.
Getting that information.
Information is not. You got to pay for it. That's the thing. You got to.
I don't have no problem with that. I work for mine, bro. I don't ask for handouts. Never.
Okay.
I don't got no problem paying.
Letitia, go ahead.
Hi. So mine is way off topic, so hopefully you're okay with that.
No, go ahead. This last subject was off topic, but we can go ahead. We got questions.
So I am a mother of two. I've been following your information, and I find it very helpful, but you don't really mention what do you suggest women with children do when they're trying to level up. If they are no longer with the father or fathers of their children, what do you suggest a mother do to get back out in the dating world, to make herself
let me tell you why I don't. Let me tell you why I don't typically discuss that, because women aren't my target market.
Okay.
That's number one. I started out working with men and women, but they're just not my target market. I still do work with women, but women with children, especially like, are you familiar with Rebecca Lynn Pope?
No, I'm not.
She used to be a matchmaker here in the Atlanta area, and she has a viral video on YouTube right now talking about why she no longer works with women. And a big part of it was because women in general, Black women in particular, as a matchmaker, she realized that these women had unrealistic expectations in the dating market. So much so that even as a beautiful woman as she is, who dated politicians, professional men, athletes, entertainers, she could get the best of best, that the women she's working with would not even accept her husband. So there are more women in general, sisters in particular, are more inclined to listen to women, because when men tell the truth doesn't typically sell that much. People want to hear what they want to hear. I mean, you can see the last call I put out, the truth is not something people want to hear when they want something. But as a woman of two, every situation's different. As a woman of two, and were you married to the father or no? Because it does matter.
No, I'm going to be completely honest. The situation is a little bit messy. I have two different fathers of my children.
Okay.
I had my children when I was younger. I made a lot of mistakes. I dated the bad boys. I was one of those girls, dating the street guys and the gang members and all of that. And I come from a messy background. I know that's no excuse.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 29. I'm 29. I'll be 30 this year.
And how old are your children?
My son is 7 and my daughter is 10, soon to be 11.
And did you go to college?
I did. I have a bachelor's.
Okay. And what are you doing right now?
Right now I do logistics.
Okay. And what city are you in?
Denver.
Okay.
Denver, Colorado.
Let's get to what matters to men. How tall are you?
I'm 6 feet and I wear heels.
6 feet?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you weigh?
About 160.
Dress size?
I'm sorry?
Dress size.
Depends, between an 8 and a 10. Just
Okay.
depends on the brand.
So being 6 feet is going to be automatically a challenge right there.
I never met a man who wouldn't date me.
I
Your
wouldn't.
man loves me.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, and I know most men don't.
I
Okay.
never have problems dating.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Most men like women between 5 foot and 5'4".
Really?
Yes. It is not uncommon to hear a tall woman say short men love her. Why is Shaq? Do you not notice that most NBA players' wives are usually pretty small relative to them?
Well, so that I will agree with. Tall men don't. I don't typically date tall men.
Well,
they don't like taller women.
I said most men don't like their women to be bigger than them.
Yes.
Women typically don't want to be bigger than their men because it's a safety thing. We've evolved this way. So this is not an opinion. This is image and biological fact. Now, if you're 6 feet and you're 8'10", that means you're not overweight. Good. But you have 2 children and you say you come from a arguably messy background. Are the children's fathers in their lives?
Yes.
Okay.
Not full time, but yes.
But okay. So any man that dealt with you would have to deal with 2 other men in their home because that's where their kids are. Right?
Maybe. It depends.
No. If a man were to deal with you seriously, let's just say I snap my fingers and you're married, right? Your husband would have to deal with your 2 children by 2 different men, right?
Yes.
It'd be his stepchildren. Then he'd also have to deal with each one of those fathers because those fathers have those children. And if they're sending money, whatever, they have some sort of input in those children's lives. He ain't their daddy. I've been a stepfather. Trust me, it is more than a notion. Would you allow a man to discipline your children?
Discipline in what way?
Whoop their ass. Because here's the thing, he got to put a roof over their head. He got to put food on their table. He got to provide for them just like he provides for his biological children. Is he going to have equal? Can he discipline the children and you co-sign it?
I think that if he is definitely fully taking on the role of their father,
see, I don't need the qualifier, man. See, that's a problem right there already. I'm said he's your husband. I snap my finger, he's your husband. But right there is a problem. Ain't no man worth his salt gonna go into a house to raise 2 kids by 2 different men and got to negotiate with you about if he's doing this, if he's doing that. I'm just being honest, man. This is how men hear it. This is how the men you want hear it. They're not gonna have that.
But I'm sorry, I just want to interject. I'm not saying that I have to negotiate. I'm totally open to all of that. The only reason why I added the qualifier is because, yeah, if he's my husband, then obviously he's taking on the role of the father. So yeah, I would be okay with that. I just added that because it's like, if you're not trying to be a stepfather, then I wouldn't feel okay.
But I snapped my fingers and made him your husband. So we're on the same page. He's your husband.
Yes.
Have you ever had to deal with anyone else's opinion regarding your children? Have you had to deal with their father?
No.
Okay, so you've never even had to co-parent for 10 and 11 years.
Well,
for 7 and 10 years, right? You've never had to co-parent.
We do co-parent, but my word reigns supreme. So
okay,
because I'm the caregiver.
That's not co-parenting.
Okay.
That's not co-parenting.
You're right.
So I just need you to understand that how to level that up. And when you say level up, what does that mean? Date a higher quality of men? Do you just want to date indefinitely, or do you actually want to get married? Because I made you
married.
Okay. Why do you want to be married?
I want to be married because I want a family structure. I want to do what wasn't done in my childhood. I want to change things. I want to break generational curses. I think Black family is important. And I want to do something different from what my family before me has done. I come from a very dysfunctional broken family, and I want to change that.
How long have you wanted to do this?
I feel like subconsciously I've wanted to do it for years, but I think I just started getting serious about it within the past year.
So
Last
it has
year
to
is when I
beg,
got more serious.
so it has to beg the question: if you want to do all that, why didn't you wait till you were married to have children? It has to be answered. It has to be answered, whether you answer it here or not. It has to be answered.
Oh, I definitely know why. I've had a lot of issues. I had no guidance. I wasn't raised by my parents. I wasn't really raised by anyone. I grew up on the street.
But you knew bringing children into the world outside of marriage was not really a good idea, and you did it twice.
At the time, I did. At the time, I didn't. It sounds crazy, but the saying, if you know better, you do better. And I really didn't know. Where'd you go to college? University of Northern Colorado.
And is that where you graduated from?
That's where I graduated from. Correct.
I don't know many college graduates that don't know that being a single mother is not a good idea. It's not like you're.
Well, this was when I was younger, before I graduated.
Ma'am, it's not like you're a high school. Okay, see, this is where the accountability comes in. It's not like you're in the hood, dropped out of 7th grade with a baby. You went to a full-blown college. I don't think the other girls walking around university, I don't think 90% of those women were pregnant. They weren't.
They weren't. I was embarrassed being a single parent in college.
Okay, so you did it. So you were embarrassed the first time, and you did it again. This is why this is why I get to the point. You want to get married, but you know what you want, but you gotta also look at what you are on the marketplace, and it looks like a lot of potential issues, because even right now you're saying, well, I didn't know, and this and that, and
I'm taking accountability, Kevin, for sure.
I can't even.
I do want.
You can't even let me get to
I'm sorry.
You see, this is why it won't work, because you're not used to listening to a man. Your mama, your word goes, ain't no man worth this salt gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna let you sit around and talk over me in my house where I pay the bills. Hell no. What man have you ever had to follow?
I have never had to follow a man or a woman, for that matter. Anyone.
Well, there you go. So how is that supposed? See, I understand the desire to level up. I do, but the capacity has to be there also. Men are not utilities. Men don't just come in to say, you're 29 years old and got 2 kids. I'll just go ahead and take that on. They're looking at what they're getting. And you don't co-parent with the fathers now. Your word is law. And you said you have a boy and a girl?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Your children, you said a boy and a girl?
Yes, a boy and a girl.
See, being a father to a little girl has its own particular set of issues. He touched me. Oh, no. See, there's the kind of man that will come in to a ready-made family of 2 has to be a man who's going to be do you want to work? Be honest. Or do you want to stay at home?
Well, I'm a writer, so I want to write books, but I do want to stay at home. Yes. So that's the only thing I want to do. It's right.
So you want to be a stay-at-home wife?
Yes, correct.
With a prefab family. I hear you. What kind of income would a man need to make to be able to take care of you, your 2 children, for you to be a stay-at-home wife? How much money would he need to make in Denver?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Give me a ballpark. I have a number, but give me a ballpark. You expect to live in a house or an apartment?
A house.
You expect to live?
So I'd say upwards of $80,000 for sure.
Upwards of $80,000. You know how much it costs to raise 1 child? To 18.
It costs a lot.
$200,000, and you're talking about taking your income away. 80,000. Come on. You expect to live in a suburb, and that's a nice suburb. How many bedrooms in your house?
2.
Only 2 bedrooms in the house with 4 people?
No, there's only 3 people in my house.
No. Do you have a boy and a girl? They can't be in a room together. 2-bedroom house with 2 kids? Come on.
Yes. Yeah, we're planning on moving, but yes. I'm
No,
just being honest.
no. That's not honest. Mom and daddy got to have a master bedroom. Brother and sister cannot live in the same bedroom. They got separate rooms. That's 3 minimum. And you're 20 what? 29?
Correct.
You think this man wants his own children from you?
Yeah, every man I've met has.
Right, and I hope you're at least willing to give him that.
I am. I'm
All
open to
right, so
having
then
more
you're gonna need
children.
another bedroom. So that's 4, and a guest room, 5. 5 bedrooms, living room, kitchen. Okay, you're not talking about insignificant income. You're talking about a man making at least $150,000, $200,000 a year to sit you down so you can be a writer, because the writing ain't gonna make no money immediately. So we got to ask ourselves a question. What do you care about will you marry a man who's not black?
I've been considering it lately.
Would it be your preference?
It's not my preference, but I think over time I'm becoming more open to it. There's a large white population out here.
Your preference is to marry a black man?
My preference, yeah.
Because you have a black daughter and a black son.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to be bred into this and have little Chad? You want to have 2 black children and a mixed child? That's what you want?
That's not what I want.
So let's be honest. Let's just put it all out on the table. This is what we're doing. No one knows you, no heat, no judgment. But you want a black man. And
I do.
And do you want him to be under 6 feet tall? With you being 6 feet tall?
I'd say no shorter than 5'10" is what I'm dating.
Do you want him to be under 6 feet tall? With you being 6 feet tall?
I don't want that, no.
All right, so this is why you women got to start getting honest. You want a black man who is over 6 feet tall, who is earning over 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
You want effectively 3% of black men. I made a video about this last year. You want a black man in my category. 3%. 3%. And that's not adjusted for marital status, sexual preference, or anything. You're looking for a needle inside a haystack. But here comes the real hard question. You ready? Hold on. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Why would a $200,000, and he's a professional, I'm assuming you want a white-collar professional, not a plumber or something. No offense to the plumbers.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, this is what you, and this is the reality. You want a white collar, you want him to come home, driving up in the BMW in the suit or whatever with the briefcase, so y'all can sit around and talk about colleges and Jack and Jill. You want all that. That's what you want. All right, I feel you. Why does that man pick you over?
Well, so
hold on. Why does he pick you over the 23-year-old with no kids and no baggage and no bad history, over the 25-year-old or the 27-year-old that's same position? Because you want the best of black men, and those guys, not only do black women want them, all women want him. You want the 3%. You got to ask yourself a question. Are you a 3% woman?
I'm not a 3% woman, which is why when you were asking me what I want as far as height and status and things like that, the reason why I'm open-minded and willing to compromise is because I understand that I have to account for the mistakes that I made and that I'm not a 3% woman. So I don't feel like it's fair for me to say, I want a guy who's over 6 feet that does this and makes this and blah, blah, blah. I understand that that's not realistic.
Do want a man,
that's why I'm open.
But you do want a man who makes enough money where you don't have to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a tall order, because most men who in that, they're making that negotiation with their young wife because they get the benefit of their womb and their youth. You've already given that away twice.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not even willing to co-parent with the guy. Your rule is, your word is going to be final, especially when your kids buck, because your kids gonna run to you. Because especially if he decides to, you say, well, okay, we come to the conclusion that daddy can spank you too. But see, have you ever had to spank your son?
You said, am I what?
Have you ever had to spank your son or give him a whooping?
You said, do I spank my son?
Have you ever had to?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, problem already. Let me tell you something. The little love taps you mothers give ain't shit to a man's strength. You ready to have your entire soul snatched from your body when you see the actual application of a man's strength with a belt to your son's ass? Are you ready for the look of sheer terror and pain on his face when his whole fucking breath gets sucked out of him and he looks like you like, mama, save me? And you're gonna have to stand your ass over there and not say a goddamn word. See, you have not even done that with his biological father.
No, I've seen his father giving the whooping. It was definitely hard.
Not that kind of whooping. Not that kind of whooping. I'm talking about I'm whooping your ass to save your life. See, women, because see, I watched my ex and I've seen how when you sitting up there giving your son a whooping, that shit was about 6, 7 years old, your whooping stopped hurting. He was just out there, ow, mama, ow, 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 ow. But you can't do that when you got a Charles Faulkner like nigga on you. You can't do it when you got to do like me. When I pull off this Tom Ford belt and I lay it across his back and it takes all the goddamn wind out of his lungs. Are you ready to do it? Are you ready to be that wife? Because he has to protect and provide, because if he doesn't do it, when little Daryl is picked up for shoplifting or whatever, he certainly got to go pay to bail him out and get the attorney, don't he? Because you ain't working. So he definitely got to deal with the bill if he doesn't do the correction. And there's not going to be any co-signing or asking you for permission or any of that shit. He's in trouble. He didn't do what he's supposed to. He's going to come in whooping ass. Can you handle that?
It would be hard, but I mean,
no. Can you handle it? And can you handle it? Because it's not going to happen just one time. Because after he whooped that ass and you sit back and have to take your Valium and have a drink of wine, and you think you're going to talk about it in the bedroom, ain't going to be no goddamn talking. I did what I did. I'm not going to explain myself to you. The motherfucker need to get his ass together. I already talked to him once. Then when he go to school and he bucks again with the teacher, come back in doing the same shit, what is he going to get? He going to get it again, even worse. You're going to be able to sit back and let that happen? Until that boy is broken to realize this is the man of the house and this is how it goes. And however mama raised me from here to there, that was mama. There's a man now. Are you going to be able to sit back and do that? Because you want all the benefits. Are you going to be able to do that?
I think I could. I mean, I'm ready to be married. I am. I'm ready for a husband, and I'm ready.
Okay, but here's the thing. You need to know, because this is what the difference, and why I'm painting this picture is that's what life looks like for a man who's in charge. There's not going to be any negotiating with you. You're sitting at home. He's paying the cost to be the boss. This is why women oftentimes have to make a real choice. Do you really want the kind of man you say you want? Then that man has to work. That man has to do what he has to do. And at least your kids can be in line. But if not, he has to do what he has to do. Maybe it's better that you date after your kids are out of the house. Because that's a choice you made, ma'am. You made a choice to have not one, but 2 kids. You honestly, back in the day, you would have been off the market for 18 years. Much less thinking.
So you're saying that are you saying I should not try today? I should just give up love until my kids.
I wouldn't presume to make that. But what I'm giving you is a reality a lot of people don't want to give you. A lot of women will tell you, yeah, you can go out and level up and this and that, da, 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 da. The men at the level you're talking about are not going to have you injecting chaos into their lives. You're not, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you something maybe no one's ever asked you. You're married. You're married. Your number one priority is to be a mother or a wife. Which one?
Mhm.
Which one? Be
Mhm.
honest. Be honest.
That's rough.
Huh?
I said that's a tough one.
No, it's not.
Um,
Which one is it? Where do you cut? When it comes right down to it, are you a mother or are you a wife?
you're probably not gonna like my answer, but I'm going to say I'm a mother first.
Then you don't need a husband. So you don't know what being married is. You think marriage is just something to make your life easier. See, what happened back in the day when people had multiple children? You save your wife, you don't save your kid. This is why so many of you ladies who talk all this level up talk, you don't know what men's purpose is. You don't even know why we're supposed to be there. We're there for sex and to do shit for you and to pay for shit. But then you want them to be subservient partners and all this other kind of stuff. And at the end of the goddamn day, in your heart of hearts, you know good and damn well you choose your children over your husband. So you can do that when you didn't marry the biological father. You can't pull biological rank on a man who's your husband. See, if you'd have done it the right way, you couldn't pull out the high joker. Well, these is my kids. You got one time to say that to a man who's worth his salt.
Mhm.
You got one time to say that shit to a man worth his salt, and you're gonna be out on the street. You don't pull rank in my house. You couldn't do that. You couldn't pull. You've been used to being able to pull biological rank on everybody with your kids. The kind of man you're talking about is a beta male. And those aren't the guys that tend to make that kind of money or even get you excited. This is why, honestly, what you're thinking, there's nothing in it for the man that you would be seeking. It's all been about you. And he doesn't
Well, I would.
and ultimately, I'm gonna say this, and ultimately, he does not even get your undying loyalty. He can't even count on you to be his wife over being a mother to your children. And that's the oath you go make. That's the covenant you go make. Richer for poor, sickness and health till death do us part. In the Bible, you familiar with it? You're supposed to leave and cleave. What's the order? Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Husband, wife, children down here. In the house, your children would have a different set of rules than his biological child. Men aren't doing that anymore. Not like they used to, because they can't count on you women. So you want a traditional man, but you're not a traditional woman. Let's just cut to the chase. You want a traditional man, but you ain't nowhere traditional. You don't deserve a traditional man. And that's not an insult.
Okay.
I mean, do you when I say deserve, that's what I mean. There are more women out there more deserving of that traditional man's effort than you. You've chosen a non-traditional way of living.
Mhm.
You can't it's not even fair. If we believe in fairness, it's not even fair to visit your non-traditional way of living onto some man who's going to go out here and do it the long, hard way. When he doesn't even get you cutting as a wife, number one.
Mhm.
I know that's disappointing. I know it's not what you wanted to hear.
So what do I do? What's the solution?
Well, I got to tell everybody else, first off, you need counseling, therapy. You need to address your underlying issues that got you here right now. That's the only way to have a shot. Counseling, then coaching. Because arguably, you've never seen what it is you say you want. And your mentality is not first to be that.
Mhm.
But here's a hardcore reality. If every black man that was of age, 18 to 75, if every black man today got married to a black woman, there would still be 2 million more black women left. You're having to compete for the man you say you want. And you want a man that's top of the top of the top. That's what you want. You want a man in the top 3%. You're going to have to compete for that. And
I mean, it's definitely.
no amount of femininity is going to do it, because 29 is too late to be learning femininity.
Well, I wouldn't really say that that's one of my strongest issues. I think that I've been able to date pretty well. I would say the last few years, I date men of quality. My issue definitely is the fact that I have children. I feel like that's what holds the relation back the most. For some reason, I don't attract other men with kids. I wish I did, but I always attract men who don't have children, and they're usually doing pretty well.
Let me explain to you what you just said. You will be a side piece.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. You're that's what children do for you today. You're going to be a side piece.
I believe that 100%.
And you're just now approaching the wall. What do you think is going to look like by age 35? I mean, you're closer to 25 than 35 right now. But I mean, this is what I'm trying to understand. What did you women think having kids was going to do for you? I mean, you just thought you could go out here and have one baby, have two babies, and then later on, some sucker was going to come along and, oh, marry you, and I'll put you in a big house, and da-da-da-da. I mean, you don't really think highly of that. Y'all don't sound like y'all really think that highly of men. Men are not your fucking.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it is that.
Men
I mean, hindsight is always 20/20.
Men are not your safety plan. They're not your insurance. Your goal is I can't relate to the notion that I planned on having a man as my insurance. It really was just a matter of me not having any foresight, not being a critical thinker, not having any morals, any boundaries, or any understanding of what it means. Here's another possible solution for you. You want the other one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You find the kind of man, he said, you find your Boaz. And he says, all right, I'll take it. One caveat. I'll take it and I'll give you everything you want. You can sit at home, be a writer, whatever. I'll accept your past, everything. I'll even be a stepfather. One condition. You send the kids to be with their fathers. You send the boy to be with his father in particular, because that's where he needs to be. He's over 7 years old.
I've been asked to do that before.
He needs to go to his father. And then you send the girl to be with her father. You've already had your years. Let them go live with their father. Then you and I can be married and we can start a new family. You still be a mother, but then you'll be the non-custodial parent like the men are. You got visitation and we got child support now. But I'll do that. Would you do it?
I've been asked to do that before, and I definitely said no.
All right. So you want every goddamn thing. You cannot have everything, ma'am. The nerve of you. It's like how goddamn selfish that is. You can't raise a boy to a man. He needs to be with his father. You got a man.
Dad can't raise a boy, raise a man either. He's not much of a man himself, unfortunately.
Well, you picked the motherfucker. Let me tell you something. Here's something else that you women need to understand. That's some bullshit what you just said. He can't raise him either. You chose to make a baby with him. Why do y'all think that, hold on, why do y'all think that just because you have a vagina and have a baby that automatically makes y'all the best parent? By the numbers, men are better parents. Look at the Black community right now. It's headed by women and it's a shithole. The nerve of you guys thinking automatically because I had the baby that makes me a better parent. He needs to be with his father. I don't think that's
what makes me a better parent. I think that I've taken the time to try to make.
You said you made a bunch of bad decisions, ma'am. This is what I said. This is what I just showed you, that even if you could get what you want, you're too goddamn selfish. You want it all. You want a man to do shit on your terms. Even if the man said, I will give you everything you want, we'll pay the child support. You got 7 and 10 years old. You've had plenty of time to be a mother. Send a boy with his father, send a girl with his father. Let them have time, equal time. We visit. Then we can have a chance to be married, have our own children, and you have the nerve to say, I wouldn't do that. Then you get exactly what you goddamn deserve.
Because I wonder how that will affect my children when they get older and they see that I left them to go have another family.
Whoa. See, you put all that negative shit on. How would that affect your kids? I abandoned them. You did not abandon them. You let them go live with their father. This is not a fucking abominable snowman. It's their biological father. This is why you need some damn therapy, man. It's their father.
But don't you think they need two parents? They need their mother as
first
well.
off, no, they don't. Boys don't need their mother like they need their father after 7. That's why we got so many.
Okay, what about my daughter?
Stop. And she needs to see what a father's love is like, so she don't go off doing what you did, looking for love with beyond dicks and babies. Promises I can keep. Why single mothers and poor women have children instead of relationships. You're not abandoning your son or your daughter by letting them go live with their biological father. You did not give up on them because you got married to a man who's willing to take care of you, put you in a house, and still be involved in their life. See, what you just proved is being a non-custodial parent is not a good deal for men. But see, you women expect, but you expect men to just sit back and take it. But you wouldn't want it.
No, they choose that. They can be as involved as they like.
What do you mean? No.
Choose to do the bare minimum.
Okay. They choose to do the bare minimum. Okay, well, let's take it this way.
Yes.
I don't know your situation, but here's the thing. When's the last time you actually put your son or your daughter out with their father and they didn't have to deal with you, just their kids? Can they deal with their children without can either one of your baby's daddies deal with the kids and not have to worry about dealing with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
100%. I would
so
prefer
are they on child support?
One is, yes.
Okay, and does he have, so with child support comes standard visitation. Do you allow standard visitation to be unimpeded?
Yes, of course. Yes, 100%. I'm so open to them having whatever kind of relationship they want with their children.
Okay, then their children, great. Then them raising their children from this point going forward, how is that bad for the kids? You've had them. Let them have them. See, you just proved, ma'am, here's the thing. I'm speaking passionately because I need you ladies to understand. You've just proven you want it all. You want talk.
No, it's because I know that their fathers are not.
Yes, you do. Go back and listen to this show and look in the comment section. Yes, you do, ma'am. You want it all. You don't want any penalties. You don't want any downside. I didn't say go ship them to a foreign country. I said go live with their father. I said you would still have visitation and all this other kind of stuff. And you're like, no, you said you've been approached with that idea by who? One of the fathers?
No, there was a guy that I was dating who wanted me to do that.
And you said a guy you were dating, and what did he wanted to marry you?
Yes.
And you said and what kind of money was he making?
6 figures.
And you were having sex with this man?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. So apparently he was good enough for you to date. He had the money, but yet you didn't want to do this because, and he wanted to marry you, by the way. And you turned it down.
Yeah.
You think you're going to find a better deal than that? I need everybody to pay attention to what just happened. She had a man who was making 6 figures who wanted to marry her, and she turned the shit down. Are there enough good women left for good men? That's the title of the show. Thank you. A good man, because apparently he's good enough to fuck. He was obviously earning the top 10% of all earners. Was he over 6 feet tall?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, and how long ago was this guy?
This was some years ago. This is when my kids were way smaller.
They were way smaller, and you thought you had more time and more options too. Mm-hmm.
At the time, I did think I had more time.
Right.
At the time, I did. I did.
I'm still hot. I'm still hypergamous. I'll find a bigger nigga. Right. Is that man married?
He's engaged right now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Is the woman he engaged to? Does she have any kids?
No, she does not.
How tall is she?
She's tall too. I think he has a fetish for tall women.
Oh well, good. He can afford it. She got your life.
Yeah.
Guess what? She gonna put you on her Christmas card list and say, "Thank you, Letitia. Thank you, Letitia. Oh, thank you for passing over my Boaz. Appreciate it. Because I'm quite sure he's only grown into his manhood. I'm quite sure he's continued to move up in his career. I'm quite sure he's making more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't fall off because dudes like this are winners. Yeah, and your kids is just getting older. Your titties is getting saggier. Your options is getting more sparse.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, you just putting on. You only gonna get bigger. Girl, put on more pounds. So she like, this woman is gonna get your name tattooed on her inner thigh. And like, she gonna be like,
I think I look better as the years go by. I'm not gonna lie.
good. You look better. You look better as the years go by, and don't nobody look as good as a woman with no kids. You can look good.
That's
all you
true.
Want.
But
You can look good all you want to, but when they see them
every
2
year.
kids, that shit knocks you down 6 points. You could be a bona fide 9.
You're right.
Those
You
kids
are right
cost you
about
2
that.
points each. You are 5 at best. And after you reach 30, you lose a point for the wall. You become a 4.
You're right. That's the problem that I'm having. If I didn't have kids, I'd be married.
So no, ma'am. And all the joking aside, that's not the problem you're having. The problem you're having is you need therapy. You make bad decisions. You've had an embarrassment of options. You had a 6-figure man who you were in a relationship who wanted to marry you, and you had the nerve to turn him down. You've got 2 children, you got 2 fathers who you need to make better decisions. This is what counseling is for. I've spent a lot of time talking with you, but honestly, if you should have had to pay for this session. That's what you need. You have to go in your wallet and pay, and you're gonna have to pay for it. Because at this point, you got a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. These aren't little kids anymore. These are big kids that do shit. They're less attractive than babies. You got fewer options. And you can't still be moving out here like you were 23 years old or whatever. You need counseling.
So let me ask you this. You're saying the only way that I can
I got other people to get to. You don't want you don't want to pay for what you got. Well, go ahead. You want to keep? Let me ask.
I just wanted to clarify. You're saying if the life I want is to be a married, stay-at-home mother, I need to be able to make a major sacrifice in terms of my children. That's the only feasible way to have that be my reality, the life that I want. Is that what I'm understanding?
I gave you 2 scenarios. A scenario where a man doesn't have to ask you shit about co-parenting. He has full right. He can treat those children as though they're biologically his own because he's financially responsible for them. You cannot handle that. Dealing with a 7-year-old boy is different than dealing with a 2-year-old boy. He's getting into the trouble years. So you either that, and that comes with a different man, or you could have gave the kids to their fathers, or you wait till they're out of the house. That's a third option. You either let a man be a man, send the kids off with their father, and then date, or you wait till they're out of the house and date. But here's the thing, man. You need to approach this like what it is. You don't have a lot of options. You got no fucking leverage in this dating market, and you blew a shot. You don't have another one to blow.
How do I make it more appealing though? If I do want to go with
I already asked the question. Book a session, lady. Book a session. That's what you do.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Dude, you can't get over on me. Book a session. Shit. You want something else? You ain't fucking me.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I ain't getting the pussy. What the fuck I need to keep talking to you for? Oh, let the fellas in. Fellas, what do we think? Oh shit, it's getting late. What do we think about what we just saw? I gotta go in about 20 minutes. And I'm running late. What do we think? I mean, shout out to the caller. I mean, here's the thing though. I like ladies like her because she was honest. Women like, look, I want it all, and I don't want to give up nothing. I want it all. I don't want. Hold on, I gotta take a slight break, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna put some music on, and then we'll get to the fellas, and we'll wrap this up. Guys, you're on.
Yo.
I heard you say yeah. You just don't. You don't care, 'cause you don't take me seriously. Was there to repair if you don't want to talk to me? You should know it's not as
All right. Wow, 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 wow. All right, ladies. What's going on, man? Daryl, all the other guys are on here to understand something. Shout out to the last caller. Brutal honesty. She was very truthful. And here's the thing. This is what it's like for so many on the dating scene. Imagine yourself as a man, ladies. And this is what you get to pick from. A woman, I don't fault women for wanting what they want, but you want it all. You want it all, and you don't want to give up anything. And you wonder why men are saying, I'm going out of the country, or I'm going over here or going over there. I mean, ladies, seriously, would you want, okay, go ahead, Daryl. What you got for me? What you got? Daryl, you got a question? Daryl, your microphone's not on. Your microphone's not on. Barbecue Trini, B Hill boy.
I'm here.
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Who is that? B Hill?
That's me.
And then Barbecue Trini, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, B Hill, go first. Okay, Daryl, I hear you now. Okay, we're gonna go in order.
Who's that? B Hill? Yeah, can you hear me?
We're gonna go in order. I'm gonna mute you other guys. B Hill's first. Go ahead, B Hill.
Hey, Kevin. I'm glad you took my call. I wanted to start with what happened the other day with the call that you had with the young lady. So yesterday, the call that we had with the young lady, and kind of trade that against the call that you had with the young man from Drexel University on Monday.
Okay, you got 2 minutes, guy, because I got to get through it. So go ahead.
Right. So basically, the young man from Drexel was saying, "Hey, I'm out here. I'm working, trying to do my best, trying to create a life, but I can't meet any women." And you had the woman yesterday say, "Okay, well, I'm meeting men, but I like drug dealers. I want to level up. I want more than what I'm putting forth." Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of what's going on in society, especially with dating now. I'm a little bit older. I'm more your age than I am a university student's age. But what's happening now is that we have a lot of men who just want a woman to pay attention to them. Not necessarily the best looking woman or the smartest woman, but any woman would do. And they can't meet women because all of the women are 49ers. Not all of them, but a lot of women are 49ers, where they're saying, okay, you have to be 6 foot. You have to make 6 figures. You have to be this. You have to be this. You have to have, fashion sense, which, you're good at. And you have to do all of these different things.
Well,
and
I mean, let me say this though. Now, I'm not going to cape for ladies, but I got to say this. I also see a lot of these young dudes today looking like shit.
True.
They look like shit. And even if they could not have held the 20-year-old version of my nuts.
But
hold on. I'm looking at them now, comparing them against the 20-year-old version of me, and I know there's always been guys who have been unsuccessful with women. That cannot be the measure of all these women aren't this way. There's a segment of women. So maybe you don't get that, Chad, maybe you don't get the Stacy's. Maybe you gotta go down to the cute girl. Because what it is when a man is looking good, smelling good, got his body in a gym, going to do something with himself, actually understands that he cannot just talk in a monotone voice like this and think that I can just go to work. And that's bullshit. You have to have some personality, some charisma. You got to be smooth. You have to have something. So yeah, while there may be more difficult out here, it's always going to be levels of difficulty. What are guys doing to actually be able to compete? Because you just can't say the game is too hard. You got to adjust. Don't go for those women. Go for those women. But are you the kind of woman, are you the kind of man that women of any stripe would want to deal with? Because a lot of these guys, no woman want to deal with them. Not
For
just.
sure. But I disagree on that. And here's why.
Okay, let me ask you this before you go in there.
I mean, but 1 second.
How many young men do you work with, or do you interact with?
I don't really interact or work with a lot of young men. Okay. I see them in passing.
Okay, brother, then understand something. And I'm not trying to be rude. You don't necessarily have the lived experience to know. You got an opinion, which is fine, but you're not out here in the trenches with them. I am. I am. Are you married?
No.
Okay. Have you been? Are you actively dating?
No.
I am. Want to see my Tinder? Want to see my Bumble profile? You want to see my? See, I'm out here, and I've been out there.
No, but
and I deal with, and I see these young guys who are 20 years old, and they don't even know how to say, "Hey, how you doing?" Sup?
But Kevin, the problem is that those are the kind that don't have trouble with women. Now, if it was a thing
no.
Seriously?
No. That's an assumption.
No,
you're just thinking.
Okay. There's a lot of not put together men out there with.
Okay. You're thinking that the Drexel guys, the corny game goofy dude, and they have problems, but these other dudes got no problems. That's not true. This is what I need you guys to understand. You think that just because a guy has a little swag that he's just dripping, just got women all over him. That ain't true either.
Facts.
I'm just saying it's not. I understand why you think that way, but I'm saying I work with guys, I coach with guys. That's not, because if that's the case, all they'd have to do was quote unquote dumb it down, and then they should be dripping in women. Not it. We're in a whatever situation we're in, that's where we are as men. We have to adjust and adapt, because there's going to be somebody that's going to win. Look, I will say this, that I know there's some guys who can get majority of women they go after. Some guys don't have a 3-point shot. They got to get closer to the basket. My game is trash on the court. Trash. You want to lose a basketball game? Put it in my hands and think I'm a dribble and make a shot. I will fuck it up. But I tell you what, you ain't coming down this lane. I will knock your shot. You ain't getting in here. I will Dennis Rodman the fuck out of you. But do not try to make me Steph Curry. You got to play our games as men. And that's what the Drexel guys aren't doing. They're not playing their games. They're just on the sideline saying the game is rigged. Can't do that as a man. Would you agree with that, B. Hill?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Okay, go ahead, Daryl.
I had a question. I'm originally from California. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I met you in Oklahoma City Mall one time. And I'm 6'5". I earn over 100,000 a year. I have my own. I'm an operations manager, and I own 2 companies. I'm a single man. I have 2 kids as well, and my company is taking off. Like my tax company is like taking off. So in the next couple of years, I'm probably gonna be pulling in at least 300,000 to 400,000 a year. But my question is, I was listening to your videos. My question is, do you really I'm not really looking at marriage at all. I'm 30 years old, and marriage scares me because now that I'm about to get this income, I feel like women don't want me for me. You know what I mean? Like it's coming to a point where.
Oh, okay. Hold up. Let's stop with that bullshit right there.
Yeah. Well,
let's start with that bullshit right there. So what do you? Okay. So how about this? Why don't you become unsuccessful? Go to work at Burger King and then see what woman truly wants you for you. Knock it fuck out. You want unconditional love. Women are supposed to love us conditionally. You're just supposed to vet and pick well. All this, well, okay, so let's see. How old are you?
I'm 30. Just
30.
turned 30. Yep.
When you are 85 years old on your deathbed, you want to be surrounded by nursing staff or loving family?
Love and family.
How the fuck are you supposed to get that?
Facts. Facts.
What are you doing all this stuff for? You got all these businesses and all this other kind of shit. And what are you doing it for?
I'm doing it because I enjoy it. Take care of my kids. And, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You enjoy taking care of your kids, but they don't live with you, do they?
They about to when they turn.
No, they don't. The answer is no.
No, not right now. No.
They don't. But
No, they don't.
but if you but I played distance daddy and I hated it.
I do too.
But when you have them in your house for a consistent amount of time, it's a different energy. See, you can't let the mistakes of the past predict the future. You get to pick. You pick poorly. I pick poorly. I pick poorly. But every woman ain't out there trying to just say, "Ooh, can't wait till he get his shit together. Then I'm gonna take it from him." Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Because here's the funny thing. And I'm not a dating coach. Funny thing is, all the dating coaches and hardcore red pill dudes and all that, they all got women. Coach Red Pill got a wife and kids. I mean, you're just supposed to use this knowledge to make better. Okay, take it out of relationships. You learn about the stock market. You learn about emerging companies to become a more savvy investor, right?
Facts.
All right. Same thing with women. You learn about the market to become a better picker of talent.
Because and honestly, like I don't have a problem at all, like getting women, of course, you know what I mean. But it's just the point of just vetting them out. Just vetting them. You 100% right. I got to get better. I got to get better at picking the right.
What would your dad say? What would your dad say? What would your dad say?
I don't have my father. I haven't seen my father.
All right. So when's the last time you've been into therapy or coaching?
Well, I got my step pops who was around since I was like 6, 7 years old.
Better than nothing, but when's the last time you were in therapy or coaching?
Never.
All right, there you go.
What would you say I need therapy for exactly? What would you
you don't know how many children you have?
I got 2.
2 different women?
Yes, sir.
You pick those.
Pick wrong.
Well, yeah. The thing is, unless you get new information and understand, if you don't understand who you are, you're going to keep doing what you've been doing. You don't understand.
Right.
I'm on a journey
right now. I'm on a journey right now.
Okay, but understand something. Your journey is going to be slow and fraught with problems. If you don't end up coaching and therapy is cheat codes. You're paying to accelerate the process. That's all it is. Why not go to coaching or therapy? See, when I mention coaching and therapy, Black people automatically say, but you're an educated Black man. And you know coaching and therapy is not uncommon anywhere.
Oh, it's not. It's not. Oh,
so why are Black folks so special? Why is it you as some of the most educated and accomplished of us? Why are we so arcane and backwards when it comes to mental health?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just because, like you said, it's just the community, 100%.
No, it ain't the community. This is you. This is your ego, bro. This ain't the community. You're the business owner and all this other kind of stuff. And you're the daddy. Come on, man. This ain't the community. This is your ego. Brothers saying, if I go to coaching, that means I'm admitting failure. I'm crazy.
I don't feel like that though. I don't feel like I'm open to it. I don't feel like that at all.
But that was being open to it, but you haven't done it. You mean open to it all day long, but why haven't you done it?
Yeah. Because like I said, I didn't put it on the table. I got a couple of older men that I come to for information. I got I got a friend who's like a superintendent, super successful and stuff like that. He gave me a lot of information. I got other people that's who did it the correct way.
So basically you think you're gonna figure out a different way. So why not do that? So why not do that and therapy?
I'm with it. I'm with it.
See, it's not either or, it's and. You can have older men and all this other kind of stuff, but you still need somebody professionally to help you get through your stuff because they're not qualified to do some of the stuff that I'm talking about.
You're right. You're right.
That's all it is. Come down. It really comes down. Okay. Barbecue Trini, I'm unmuting you, and you're in Tulsa, right?
No, I'm in DC.
Oh, man, that was Daryl. Go ahead, Barbecue Trini. What's going on?
Oh man, I just want to thank you on behalf of civilization. For starters, but To play devil's advocate, man, it seems like to bring the topic back full circle, it seems like there's an issue with respect to the elite, the most attractive black women, the elite, and dating these white collar drug dealers, just drug dealers in general. It seems like a lot of our, speaking as a square brother myself, a lot of our, brothers on the straight and narrow and that are square, man, these motherfuckers just aren't interesting. I mean, I've been in restaurants, I've been in bars on a first date and been witnessing first dates. And
Ooh, let me ask you this though, barbecue training. Why? How old are you?
40.
I ain't never lost nothing to a drug dealer.
Neither have I, except
I'm just saying, I'm a chemical engineer. I'm a square brother too, but I ain't never lost nothing. Are you an interesting, has anyone ever told you that you're an interesting, charismatic dude?
Hell yeah.
Okay then. How did those guys lose?
No, not me, them. Our brethren.
Well, the thing is, are those guys those things? Are they interesting and charismatic?
And that's precisely my point, is that these drug dealers, and I know a few. I mean, I'm just a black boy from the suburbs, but I've had a few life experiences, and being a drug dealer, you see, they have this confidence that comes with quick money, but a lot of our square brothers, they just, man, they're dry. They don't have any real interest.
Exactly.
And at the bottom of it, it appears to be just a general lack of masculinity, despite the swag, despite the outside appearance. You see these guys on first dates.
There's a lack somewhere, but
yes,
there's an energy. Life has an energy.
Yeah, and they
low energy and low energy wrapped up with entitlement and never having to, because what you also notice is a lot of these guys never had to struggle for anything. They mostly come from middle class backgrounds. It's like this.
Yeah. And I'm sure you like me. And I always tell the homies, I say, listen, if I get her out on a first date, she's mine. And I have a very, that conversion rate is pretty high.
So what do we do with the guys who quote unquote square?
That's the thing. They have to somehow or another break out of their shell. I mean, listen, I've been listening to you.
Here's the thing. When you're talking about a certain caliber of woman, beautiful women, 8s, 9s, and 10s, that's where the most competition is.
Yep.
If you want the prey, you got to use the right bait. So either you have to become a more effective hunter, or you have to choose different prey. And see, this is what most people don't want to do. They want it all. Just like that other woman wanted, these guys want it all too. And I can't abide by a man wanting everything. This is what the whole stay in your lane thing comes up. I'm not one to put men in lanes, but we put ourselves in lanes by what we want. And here's the thing. Whatever you choose, don't complain about the outcomes. That's why I love Image. It's about outcomes.
And that's the other issue, is these guys consistently make the wrong choices in women. Consistently. And I don't know what to attribute that to.
Well, what do I always attribute it back to thought process. How many people learned how to do this growing up? Who taught you? So I always go back to therapy. I say the first thing we all need is get our mind right. Because
Kevin, if I may, when I lost my virginity the second semester of my freshman year in college, spring semester, the day before my 19th birthday. I grew up in a 2-parent household. My dad's the greatest, my mom's the greatest, the whole 9. But my dad only really let his nuts hang when my mom got on his absolute nerves. That said, listen, I mean, I grew up, in the traditional Western, let the woman run shit, the modern Western view, not the old traditional 1800s, early 1900s Western kind of view. So I just don't understand, if I could do it, why can't they pick themselves out of the mud?
We can't get into that. We can't do that.
Okay, you're right. I mean, I don't want to be.
We can't do that because that's that bootstrap.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do that. It's like, because I guarantee there are things I could pick out in your life and say, well, why can't you do this? Nigga, why can't you dunk? Why can't you do this? Why can't you make a woman squirt? Why can't you do this? I mean, it's not about that. We get nowhere by saying there's something functionally wrong with them. No, we don't get anywhere by beating down guys because they did not develop. My best friend from childhood was a late bloomer, and he had to witness his best friend date the prettiest woman in the entire city and become popular on all levels. He was jealous. He became goddamn like Cain. But you know what? He developed, and now he's married to a drop dead gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
And that has been for years. So the funny thing is, you know, we gotta build men up. And we get there. We get there by honestly talking about these issues, bringing them to the light, and then understanding that just like that, these women need help, these guys need help too, and we don't get anywhere by shaming each other or tearing each other down. We gotta have it to where we can have an open dialogue to where everyone can feel like there's some hope. Because without hope, there's no chance for any of us.
I agree, and I'll just say this in parting: for these men that get on these live chats and talk about black women, as a man that has dated the whole spectrum, much like you, man, at the 8, 9, and 10 level, you're all the fucking same. So you're fooling yourself if you think there's not a common thread amongst all women at a certain level.
Women are all females have their fuckery. All of them.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Somebody asked in the chat room, do I plan on marrying again? I don't know. If I decided to, if I wanted to, I could be married inside of a year. I'm not opposed to it. No, I'm certainly not opposed to it. And I damn sure don't plan on dying alone. I know that. So I'm going to have to figure something out. We're not going to die alone. Not going to die alone. Not going to die alone. Not going to be sitting around at 70 years old, 75 years old, watching TV. No. I'm going to have me a woman. Just depends on how it works. There's another thing when guys are like, well, you know, everybody comes into their knowledge when they come into it. When you know better, you do better. That's all you have to do. Yeah, I've been divorced twice. I guarantee you won't be divorced a third time. And if I do get married, young Nicholas Penn, I guarantee you this: she will be a super bad motherfucker that nobody gonna be able to say schnit about. Because I like women who are 5 foot, 5'4", caramel complexion, little waist, nice legs. I like track runner legs, flat stomach. You saw the picture of my ex-wife. That's my shit right there. My shit, Stacey Dash on the height. But if I decided to marry Maria or Chung-Li or Becky or whatever, she gonna be, whatever I pick will be fine enough, bad enough to where they'll be like, you ain't gonna be able to see a goddamn thing. Nothing. And I'll be picking her because she's good to me. I'm picking her just because she look good on my arm or it's a nice picture. Because she brings peace, inspiration, beauty, which you cannot be beautiful without femininity. You cannot be feminine. You cannot be beautiful without femininity. So I don't think strong, hard, independent, I don't think chicks like the brat are beautiful. You can't be beautiful and masculine. So that's the thing. So I'm focused and I know what I want. So I can draw it and attract it to me. The better question is, what do you want? What do you want out of life? And that's why I love image. You use your image. You use your image to draw things to you. Your image is communication. You use your image to draw things to you and to manifest these things in your life. Let me check the super chats and all other kind of stuff. I think we had another great show. I mean, we're starting to, you know, have things happen, man. People starting to be honest and tell the truth with each other, which is dope. I think it's rather dope that people are starting to be honest, tell the truth with each other. And the thing is this: no heat, no judgment. We get better by understanding that we're not alone out here, that we're not like some freaking weirdos. And it's like, well, I'm stuck and, you know, life is over. No, we just make adjustments. Even to the sister that I talked to earlier, who said, you know, Is there any hope? She proved that from her own life experience. She had a man who wanted to marry her. And I bet you this, if she could go back then with the mind she has now, she'd be getting married. That's what you got to do. You can't kick yourself for what did not happen. This is what I honestly believe. You can't kick yourself for what you did not know or what you did not do. You just have to make the adjustments. Life is long, man. We got a lot of life ahead, and life is better with people. Life is better with people. Life is about relationships, and we all get to pick. What do you want? Can you let us 30-year-olds talk to each other? Yeah. I don't really control who gets on the show, but maybe I'm still trying to figure out how to do this, but this is something's happening here. I don't know, but something's happening. And as unlikely as it is, something's happening here. So apparently, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, guys. Lady, shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive men. One love to the FBI, you feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies. Appreciate you guys. Thank you to all the supporters of the show, the people who super chatted. Big shout out to all the patrons. Patrons of the show make this possible. That's who makes this possible. And I'm going to start giving Patreon shout outs on the show. You know what? Let's do that right now. Give some of the shout outs on Patreon, because those are the people that make things possible. And if you're looking for a mentor, if you're looking to book a one-on-one virtual consultation to help get you together your style and everything else, we can also customize your session. There you go. If you're looking for some career advice, help you climb that corporate ladder, put together a more professional image out there, there you go. And if you want to just get better at learning how to sell yourself, talk to folks, become more relatable, there you go. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. Let me see. Let me give a shout out to Alexander Brown, long-time patron. Brother Bindu, long-time patron. Oh, shout out to Daniel Tucker. Shout out to Darkman Jub. Shout out to Jermaine. Oh, we got some love to show up here. Shout out to John, Mr. Thorpe. Marcus Smith, what's going on? Shout out to Mr. Marcelo. Shout out to Big Nick Steed down under. My brother from another mother down there with the wallabies and blooming onions and all that shit. We're going to do more of that. Guys, we build the airplane as we fly. It's all about us. Go show some love. Go show some support on other channels. See you guys tomorrow when we talk about your personal reputation and how to build a business brand. Peace.